Start.
All right, good. It's actually working. Okay.
So,
I should be live like 2 or so minutes early, people. But I had to. I'm not going to start the game for another couple minutes, but Open Broadcaster software really does not like recording this game. And it's a good thing I figured that out before we resumed this live stream. It's just a bit silly getting the thing to recognize the footage. Sometimes it just gives me black screen. I have to do
OBS with PC games can be a bit finicky.
Yeah. I have to do a little bit of fiddling to get it to actually detect the display with my game on it, even with the whole borderless windowed thing that I've got going on here. Anyway, there is something else I need to confess to before we continue. For those of you who haven't been watching me obsessively tweet about this on Twitter,
It's your latest obsession.
I played ahead to the end of Nar Shaddaa, just to get a feel for the game and stuff, because there was a bit of embarrassing semi-DSP tier fumbling around last time. So I'm going to be picking up this game with a new character build, and also a different hair color, because I added another mod to the game in between. Just the one that changes the character model I was already using to look a bit more like the canon Mitra Sirik, the
Protagonist.
yeah, the Jedi Exile, as we know her from the MMO, I think. There's a similar mod for KOTOR 1 that's just like a full facelift for one of the models, I think. But
nice Tim Curry reference, Game Master.
Yeah, I don't really like the direction they took Revan and the Exile after this point, so I'm not like super interested in being the canon version, but we're going to start out a little further back from where I left off, because I actually want to talk to the protocol droid all over again, because it's the first time in this game where let me just very quickly switch over to my plasma torch for a second here. It's the first time in this game where the dialogue system comes in really important. So, yeah, I'll get... why are you attacking the empty container? If you, like, switch weapons in the menu screen while you're fiddling around with containers, sometimes that can happen. Anyway, we're, a little bit back, like, at the end of this segment, I think.
About, like, 20 minutes behind, I think.
Yeah, at the end of this, oh yeah, and the character build I'm going with is a bit different. I'm a Jedi Guardian this time, which means I have demolition skills, and I can recover mines, which, as it turns out, is probably one of the most useful skills you can have in this game.
You're not one of the Guardians of the universe.
Well, the Guardian class is basically the warrior of the Jedi classes.
Yeah.
But unlike KOTOR 1, you don't start out with a non-Jedi subclass. You just start out as a Jedi. So
it's always weird how like all the supplementary material and side content always goes into the different kinds of Jedi, and then the movies are just like, yeah, you're a Jedi. Well, what kind of Jedi? Just a Jedi.
Yeah.
You're seeing your Voomy soaring around. Voom, voom.
I'm actually reading The Jedi Path right now, which was a book released a little while before the Disneyverse came out. That goes into, like, the Jedi as the expanded universe portrays them, like all
as an actual organization.
Yeah, all their dogma, all the stuff they need to watch out for, like these swords. These swords have a metal called cortosis in them. They're not pure cortosis. That would be pretty neat, because pure cortosis makes lightsabers short out on contact. But it's also really brittle, so it would be a sword that's good against lightsabers and only lightsabers. This is something called a cortosis weave, so I can totally fight a lightsaber wielder with a sword.
We have a $2 donation from the hero of all villains. Would you guys consider
Let's
And
Playing
LP.
Yakuza. It's on my list of things to record for the channel, but that's a time investment like nothing
Yeah,
else.
they're very long games, especially if you're doing
Yeah.
everything besides the main campaign.
And if I do Yakuza, I'd want to do everything besides the main campaign because there's a lot of value to be found there.
Yeah.
Okay, I've cleared out
We
this
also have
area.
a $5 donation from Nate or hello everyone, how's it going? Missed the game. Well, glad we're back to it.
I really wish they do like a remaster or a remakester of the Knights of the Old Republic games.
I mean, we've been asking for that for ages, so.
I mean, this one could do with some serious smoothing over of wrinkles. And let me just switch to a blaster real quick. I'm running a dexterity build, by the way, so I actually am pretty good with blasters. Let me just very quickly switch.
But according to the Jedi, they're so uncivilized.
I don't care. Blasters are useful, okay? I also figured out the little floating ball droids that fix the other robots. They explode when they die, so I killed 2 enemies with one swipe. This game gives you all the XP for enemies that are killed by other enemies, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Which is something that you can provoke in certain circumstances. This guy's about to walk into a mine, and I'm gonna laugh so hard. No? Oh, that's lame.
He stopped at the last second.
He got the damn saving roll.
No. Roll for initiative. Roll for initiative.
A little busy. What kind of readings are you picking up at?
The containment fields in the mining tunnels are shutting down. You need to get out of there before they vent fuel to the surface of the asteroid through the tunnels.
How much time do I have?
I may be able to keep it contained until you get the turbo lift to the fuel depot, but not for much longer. I'm locking down the turbo lift.
You're getting a smidge echo from your mic in terms of the game.
I'll turn that down a little. There we go.
Okay, now we're not hearing it from your mic anymore.
Yeah, just fiddled with the dial for a second there. Anyway,
Yep.
that was an awkwardly timed thing, and that's one of the problems I have to admit I have with KOTOR 2. And, you know, KOTOR 1 has this issue to a certain extent too, but this game is really unpolished. It's a bona fide...
It's almost like it was made in like half the time as the original by a different studio.
Probably, yeah. I mean, whether there was like a year between games. I don't know if they were both in development simultaneously or not, but... I mean, the restoration mod from the Steam Workshop fixes a lot of the bugs, but it can't overhaul things that are just hard
Into the game, yeah.
Yeah, so when we get to Nar Shaddaa, there's going to be some real awkwardness with how quests progress at a certain point. Yes, I'm talking about Vissus and the Slavers. I think that's happened to everyone who goes to Nar Shaddaa first. It's a good thing that I played Nar Shaddaa between sessions, because like Nar Shaddaa is the longest planet in the series. And when I say in the accounting, I think for like the restoration mod, adding more stuff in. I'm glad this droid didn't set off the mine. That would have been awkward. Oh, right. Here's a damaged container. Sometimes you can blow stuff open with your explosives. It's useful.
Blowing things up is usually useful in games.
Yeah. Well, if it's like after you get your party with you, you'll probably rarely ever be in a situation where you don't have someone with the highest amount of security you can manage at that point in the game. But there are places where your party members get separated from each other, so it's useful to remember that you have these options. And this asshole has a shield up. So at this point, I have to go melee. Dexterity build be damned.
Green Raccoon, it is just Lewis and I tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ted couldn't make it today. You know, it happens.
Yeah. We all have other things going on.
Oh, I don't want to be there when that thing goes up. I almost, like, meleeed the self-destructing repair bot to death.
Dude.
That would have been bad. I keep doing that in my main game. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's
So, besides marathoning this game, what and KOTOR 1, what else have you been up to lately?
Not much, actually. Sitting at home waiting for my doctor's appointment to happen, because that's a thing I still gotta deal with. Anyway, this is officially back the area where we left off last time.
Yep.
The protocol droid right outside this elevator.
Is the one built for human and cyborg relations. It's weird how 3PO uses cyborg and he's an android. They got a reverse Dragon Ball Z going on.
Yep.
For those of you not in the know, cyborg specifically refers to a mix of human and, or at least living tissue and robotics. Androids are full robotics.
Anyway, this conversation, I skipped over a lot of it last time. It turned out that was a mistake, because you need to navigate a rather complex web of dialogue to get this, to get something you need from this person, from this assassin droid. Yeah, it's an assassin droid. I mean, the game telegraphs that at you like it's shouting it in your ear with a megaphone, but...
According to One Winged Angel, you can just shock the droid, I guess.
Well, yeah, I could, if I were playing a dark side character, which I'm not. And, you know, if you're gonna be meta like that, you might as well not be playing an Obsidian game at all, you know what I'm saying? How do you know me? I'm not your master.
Answer. I am a survivor of the Harbinger, just as you were, Master. With the unexpected termination of my previous master, you are the only organic which I may now serve.
Who was your previous master?
Spartan Mondo, I'm not saying that cyborgs aren't a thing in Star Wars, it's just that there's a distinction and they got it wrong. Just like Dragon Ball Z did.
However, we did not arrive at our intended destination.
Jamie Santos, would we ever consider doing the Halo games? I mean, I don't see why not, as far as at least doing the campaigns go.
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, I enjoyed what I played of Halo 4 and Halo 1. I haven't done any of the stuff in between.
One's good, two's good, three's kind of third movie problem. Sonic Angel, Lewis went ahead, so we're not kind of fumbling around like we were last time, so he built a new build, and we started a little bit further back so he could do some things he missed out last time.
Yeah, I skipped over some stuff talking to this droid.
Hesitant explanation.
You will learn to hate these fuckers, by the way. Swear jar.
Many have attempted to claim you and
but
this unit as salvage. I was crudely interrogated concerning our brief history together on board the Harbinger.
If you played KOTOR 1, I think this droid type is familiar to you, though, because one of your party members is like an earlier model of the HK Protocol droid series. Yeah, imagine C-3PO with a blaster rifle. It's something a little bit like that.
Well, if his red eyes from the Rise of Skywalker trailer, he might go evil. It would be hilarious to see 3PO actually like with the blaster or something.
I wonder if they intentionally built C-3PO's generation of protocol droids like with awkward arm and leg joints just so that they couldn't wield blaster rifles. Considering how they go into droid stuff in this game later on, it could be possible that they did that. Let's see.
Yeah, that's one way to avert the robot apocalypse. Just make them really shitty at, doing anything besides their intended function.
It is possible you were incapacitated and locked in the well-shielded cargo compartment as the Harbinger was being systematically crippled, Master. Clarification. Yes, Master.
Yeah, slightly back on the Halo tangent. ODST is also good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the other one I played was Reach. I enjoyed Reach, but I thought some of the areas were a bit aimlessly open. Like,
yeah, I only brought it up because Jamie Santos brought it up in the chat. But yeah, Reach is just kind of eh.
Yeah.
Placation, Merely a turn of phrase, Master. The implication that your state was due to the result of ingesting...
Alright,
large
3PO did go
quantities of
cycle in the
fuel
Coliseum in
juice
episode 2,
was
not that I care, because episode 2
unintentional.
sucks.
I meant to communicate only that you were somehow rendered unconscious before you were locked securely in the cargo hold.
Fortunately, T3 and HK47, I think, are both recruitable party members in this game, so you get the droids from the first Knights of the Old Republic on your team. This game checks off all the traditional Star Wars boxes. Mainstay droids from previous episodes, smuggler vessel. Yep, it's all there.
Clarification, by locked. I meant sealed, Master. My vocabulator seems to be malfunctioning.
This is a long conversation sequence.
Yeah.
Recitation. Following the unusual set of coincidences that led to the cascade failure in the Harbinger's systems, we were boarded by a small freighter with unknown ID.
Angel says it's cute how it says the tone is trying to convey before speaking. I like this robot. What was the race in Mass Effect that did similar?
I think it was the L-Core that
Yeah,
did
the
that.
L-Core.
They did it because they couldn't convey different vocal tones at all, though. This guy's just doing it to be annoying.
Began to go critical. I, too, managed to board the freighter before the Harbinger's destruction. We were most fortunate to have survived, Master.
Unfortunately, this guy is tied to a bit of cut content that we'll be seeing as we go through an area probably next session, but...
Evaluation.
Right.
Master,
there's a door that you can't get into. Even the restored content mod doesn't fix this. You need a separate content mod to get in there. But you actually would have found the factory where these guys were made.
It does seem odd that such a small vessel has a high probability of attracting the attention of much larger vessels.
What, they all come
Not a
from just
welcome
one
trait
factory?
in a freighter, to be sure.
Huh?
Well, these guys all just come from one factory?
There's a hidden factory that was specifically manufacturing protocol droids for assassination missions, but it was cut from the game. You can find the door, and you can find the droid that was supposed to get you through the door, but if you try to get the droid to follow you like you were supposed to in the concept that was cut, the droid will follow you for about 5 steps and then explode.
That always kind of weirds me out in as far as Star Wars is concerned, because it feels more like each planet is more like a city. They do their one thing, and that's kind of it.
We got a $5 donation from Wape Malenga. So Ryan and Lewis, what is the best meme to come out of the 24-hour Pokemon Company JPEG live stream? Also, P5R when? I have the patience to wait. I think P5R is coming out in March, maybe.
March or April, yeah.
As for the Pokemon thing, I didn't watch it.
I watched like an hour, realized it was never going to do anything, and I turned it off.
Explanation? I believe it was
People spent more time trashing it than actually watching it.
Speculation. As to its purpose, I do not know. Perhaps it was always its intention to play dead, then kidnap you off the Harbinger and rob me of my bounty.
I like how this guy's trying to lie to your face, but he's so terrible at it that he keeps slipping up.
Clarification. By bounty, I refer to your life, Master. It would pain me to see you damaged in any way. That is why the arrival of this Ebon Hawk caused me considerable distress.
The Ebon Hawk, by the way, is the ship from the first game. So the fact that it's here without the main character of the first game is something of a mystery, and I think that was supposed to lead into KOTOR 3, but KOTOR 3 never happened. So they kind of resolve it in one of the MMO expansions, and then another of the MMO expansions picks up from there, but, you know.
Apology. My memory core cannot provide a clear answer on that point, Master. Suffice to say that once we arrived at this floating rock...
Kyle Sanderson asked if the Persona 5 commentary confirmed canceled, or is Lewis still planning on continuing it? We're kind of trying to feel what Persona 4 Royal is going to come out to be.
Persona 5 Royal. And yeah,
Sorry.
I I've answered this question probably about 50 times by now. When
Well,
Persona
51.
5 Royal comes out, and probably as a stream.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was he saying? Okay. It's a little difficult to follow these dialogue trees while I'm listening to someone else talk.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had... what happened once the ship...
Explanation. Despite my market value, Master, the miners were far more interested in you. It did not take long for me to ascertain the reason for this. While an HK protocol droid is a valuable piece of property, Jedi are worth much more in certain exclusive markets across the galaxy. Painful admission. I must confess to feelings of inferiority at the speculated difference
Conroy
between
says,
my
I never got to the
value
Revan stuff in the
and
Old
the
Republic.
price
How
for
bad
your
was it?
capture. I was forced to remind
Not
myself
terrible, but not
it was
great.
Not due to a failing of my model or function, but because you were a Jedi.
I mean, okay, the story elements that they had going on there have potential, but it's all somewhat limited by the fact that it's a story in an MMO, which can't really give you all that much latitude to make choices. The stuff concerning Vitiate afterward is a hell of a lot more compelling, but by then, Knights of the Fallen Empire, or Knights of the, no, not Fallen Empire. Well, is it the Eternal Throne? Something like that. It's basically, they really wanted to make KOTOR 3, but they couldn't, so they made an MMO as a cover for making KOTOR 3. But it just sort of comes in a weird, awkward halfway point, you know?
You are the exiled Jedi who served with Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? I hope all that has happened has not been the result of a miscommunication. If so, then the problem lies with the core word databases, which are notoriously spotty. Answer. All that has happened has been because they believe you to be a Jedi Master.
Yeah, Dara points out that at that point the MMO basically became a single-player game, which is kind of weird.
One group seemed intent on selling you as property. The other group opposed this.
I mean, the Old Republic does some cool things. I do like the way it handles your individual character's story based on what class you pick and what faction you're in. A little bit like Dragon Age Origins, actually.
These accidents coincided with the degradation of the mining droid behavioral cores. Crude models are prone to such failures, resulting in murderous rampages. The mortality rate of organics in the facility rose quickly.
This is kind of a subplot in the KOTOR games that, like, if droids aren't routinely memory wiped, their behavioral cores will degrade over time, and they'll go a bit crazy. Which is why droids like R2-D2, or in this timeline, T3, are a bit of a point of caution. Like, people normally memory wipe droids every so often to stop them from developing any strange defects or quirks. But then occasionally you get a droid who takes offense at being memory wiped. We'll be seeing that on Telos. Let's see.
Many miners began to join you in the medical bay as a cascade of flawlessly timed detonations occurred in isolated gas pockets
Flawlessly
in the lower
timed.
levels of the facility. The explosions herded the miners into emergency sections of the station, quickly and efficiently cutting them off from communications and facility control. But sadly enough, not the ventilation systems. You see, the explosions had damaged specific sections of this facility's ventilation systems,
Getting weird.
causing a slow, lethal buildup of toxic fumes in the dormitory level. Defensive answer. Master, I am a protocol droid, not a well-crafted assassination droid of unrivaled
Yes, hello,
sophistication.
person.
To have carried out the actions that took place here would have required an unusual set of skills. It is highly unlikely I possess the knowledge of how to reprogram the memory cores of base worker-class droids into killing machines, let alone to terminate the organics at this facility, utilizing only Aerotech 500 series laser mining drills and explosives fashioned from proton missile cores. Admission. I
Dark
cannot
Later says
and
voltage
will
in this
not
case they
attempt to
decide
change your mind,
they want to
Master.
put their own spin
I
on
would
it.
urge you to consider that your Kolto tank treatments may have caused some disorientation. Of course, Master.
Man, this
How
is
may
going
I
well.
be of assistance?
Yeah, okay. Let's see. What's that body
Answer.
there?
That is all that remains of the maintenance officer, Master. At the end, he was quite incoherent from the pain, and attempts to facilitate communications with him proved useless. I heard his dying screams as the droids he tended turned on him, mining him like a piece of asteroid
I am the dead.
rock.
Sorry, I'm honestly behind, but
Recitation? Oh, yes, Master. The record of his last moments were...
5 droids, running through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone...
when do we get to the game? This is the game.
Oh, my leg! They're running through my leg! Oh, stop! Stop, please!
Addendum. His remaining attempts at communication are variations
I'm sorry,
in
this
decimal,
guy is
Master,
just
ranging from
really
frenzied
cold.
screams to gibbering inarticulate attempts to beg for his life. Of course, Master. How may I be of assistance? Pitying answer. Oh, that is unfortunate, Master. The hangar is sealed behind a containment field. It would be impossible to open it.
And the override codes?
Answer.
1,
Only
2,
the
3,
Peragus
4,
administration
5.
officer would have such codes, Master.
It's
If
astounding.
he
The override
hasn't
codes are the
already
same
been
combination as my
murdered
luggage.
in an unfortunate accident, then he is trapped in the dormitory section, which has been effectively cut off from the facility.
When we get back, change the override
by
codes and the
explosives.
combination on my luggage.
Theory. You could walk across the surface of the asteroid to the dormitory airlock, but such a route would be extremely hazardous.
Frosty Jack asks, so
And I do
question,
not
out of
wish to
curiosity,
see
why
you
was the
damaged.
Exiles canon name not used for this character?
What?
Uh,
I mean, I just said it was. This is the canon name, Mitra Surik. I mean, I was using a different name last part, but this is obviously not the same file. So,
Warning. Master, continued exploration of this facility may place you in unnecessary danger. I encourage you to return to the medical bay and wait for retrieval from a vessel that is no doubt on the way, even as we continue this pointless conversation.
I'm going to find those miners, and you're going to help me.
Weary resignation. Very well,
So I'll give anything else to
Master,
do, Droid.
but there is very little that I can do. You see, the airlock is sealed by a code.
Alright, so how do I get the code to the airlock?
Correction.
1, 1, 1, 1,
Oh,
1.
I already possess
1,
the
1,
code,
1, 1,
Master,
2.
but
Eh,
I'm
1,
afraid
1, 1,
that it
1,
will
3.
do you
No.
no good.
What do you mean?
Condescending
it won't do me any
explanation.
good.
Master, the console governing the droid maintenance area. And
So
the
basically, this
airlock
is the puzzle.
is voice
You
printed.
need both the code and the voice, but the guy whose voice you need is dead on the ground right
maintenance
next to you.
officer was quite careful about voice protocols, bordering on paranoid obsession. Conjecture. I suspect once he realized something was
So,
wrong in the facility,
basically,
he voice locked
there
the droid
should
bay
be no way
functions.
to open
A
the
prudent
voice print
measure,
code,
but in the
but
end, he met the same fate as the rest of the
we
droid
know a
gangs.
protocol droid in the room who happens to,
Explanation. Yes,
you know, be able
Master.
to mimic
Many
people's
consoles
voices.
have voice recognition sensors built into their systems so that only selected individuals can unlock them.
Here's the thing, the droid won't actually
Condescending explanation.
go there and say the code. He claims it's because of his programming, but it's really because he just wants to keep you here. But he's also kind of stupid.
Unless the maintenance officer speaks the code,
That's never good.
useless.
So, you can mimic voices, can't you speak the code?
Objection, Master. To commit such an
I would if I
act would
knew
be
the
in
code.
violation of the ethics programming most droids are believed to possess.
I like how he
I'm
phrases
afraid
that. The
there
ethics
is
programming
nothing
most
that can be done.
droids are believed to possess.
Shit, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Anyway, in the next room over here, after salvaging some components from some broken droids, which is always helpful. Trust me, those components will come in handy eventually.
Frosty Jack asks, so Lewis, will you be repairing HK-47?
Yep.
Yay.
With the protocol droid's help, I finished work on the sonic imprint sensors. I've installed them in the mining droids, but I'm locking up the original here to prevent the other miners from using its ability to record and play back voices to override the droid's voice print protocols. So we now have a recording device. Now, I think there are multiple ways you can do this. I think, like, if you travel around, if you, like, search around the place, you can find the correct, you know, combination of words
Greeting.
To-
It is a pleasure to see you intact, Master.
to just sort of cobble together the voice print, but I've never actually tried to see if you can do that.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see
Because
you intact, Master.
If you have a high
How
enough
may I be of
persuasion skill,
assistance? Recitation? Oh, yes, Master. The record of his last moments were...
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone that... Oh no, they're through! Oh, my leg! They're burning through my leg! Oh, stop!
Mobby Samo says, yeah, how HK-50s are so effective as assassins will always confuse me. They're dumber than rocks. They might as well go ahead and say, hello, I'm here to kill you.
you're not wrong. Now, if you can play back his voice, can't you speak the voice code?
Objection, Master.
I'm curious, though, why is it that, I guess the first law of robotics don't apply to stuff in Star Wars?
Oh, because they don't have the laws of robotics in Star Wars.
I guess.
The fact that you can mimic voices is pretty impressive. What would it sound like if you did speak the code to the console?
Proud
Now
answer.
do Bugs Bunny, do Bugs Bunny.
I believe my vocabulator is working adequately enough to accommodate your request. A recitation. Maintenance control voice print ID R1B5. There. Was that sufficient, Master?
Yes, I think that's all I'll need.
Confused query. I am sorry, Master.
Congrats, you did it.
Were you speaking to yourself?
Alright. So, we have the password. Oh. And the maintenance guy has some stuff on his corpse. Energy shields are something you're going to want to stock up on. Basically, they, when you equip and use an energy shield, it covers you in a blue force field that repels blaster bolts for a limited amount of time and a set amount of damage. Whew. Okay, let me just switch back to my sword, because screw this guy. Ugh, I hate it when that happens.
Not getting shot.
No, sometimes, like, for whatever reason, the stupid thing will highlight something in the menus. And, you know, when it does that, I pick something I didn't mean to waste. And, that can result... Ooh.
Sorry. According to Spartan Monado, laws of robotics don't apply to droids which have artificial sapience, which then begs the question of why are they slaves then? Unless the Star Wars galaxy is just okay with slavery.
When it says load last save file, it loads the most recent save file you saved in your list, which, in my case, is the save file from fucking Nar Shaddaa. It hasn't auto-saved at all since I started the stream.
Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
So we're gonna have to do all that again?
Normally, it auto-saves when you go from area to area, but I guess it doesn't do that in here. Thanks, game.
Oopsie doodles.
Okay, so I'm just gonna speed through that dialogue when I get there again, but let me pick up all the items that I left behind. Wait, no. Right, I had to use the plasma torch on this container over here first. Well, now I know something else awkward about the game's design that I didn't before. Also, something that I figured out when I was reloading save files before this is that the item rolls for all of the containers are made when you enter an area, so you can't save scum any of the containers for items that you might want. There is randomization in what items you get and where, but it's all figured out like far in advance of you opening the container. Like once I got a really like slick pair of like goggles for my character that had a really good stat increase for the point in the game I was at, but then I had to reload my save file, and I reloaded to another area, so I got a different set of items.
Sorry, being asked if we're gonna watch The Mandalorian. I have no interest in getting Disney Plus, so probably not.
Well, you know, it depends on how good it is, to be honest. For my part, I'm gonna wait, but you know, track record. The TV stuff that they've been doing for Star Wars has been marginally better than the movies, probably because the Star Wars universe is just really good for that kind of stuff.
Well, that, and I think that the TV stuff is given more leeway to do what they want rather than the numbered movies, which are probably under much stricter studio control.
I'm locked.
Dialogue.
Anything left to do down there?
Yeah, they do kind of have more leeway, but
Delta Hunter L, we didn't lose that much progress. It's more just now he has to mash through the dialogue options.
yeah, I mean, I'm only a few rooms away from where I was, and
when you mash through the dialogue options, it's much quicker. You're not sitting around and having to listen to it.
I can't use my blaster on these guys. They have shields. There you go. I am sort of dual-wielding my gamepad and a mouse, by the way. You might ask
that's always
me.
awkward.
It's not as awkward as you think. I only use the mouse when I'm like going through tactical pause, you know? Sometimes it's just quicker for me to take my hand off the controller and move the mouse around. You're not seeing my mouse anywhere because OBS is not set to capture it right now.
Yeah, that's one of the good features it has.
Yeah, just, you know, if it seems
no,
like
no teacher syndrome where you just leave the mouse in front of the video all lesson.
I'm sorry,
so
what?
Annoying.
Oh yeah.
You know, back in like school when the teachers would have a video online or whatever, and they would leave the mouse on top of the video, and you would just be mentally annoyed that it's like, move the mouse.
Just move it to the edge of the screen; it'll be invisible. Come on. It takes literally zero effort. Unfortunately, enemy drops are still randomized, so I suppose you could save scum that if you really wanted to, but you can't really get that much off of enemies, to be honest. Let's see. Kaboom. You are going to need every credit that you can get your hands on if you're playing as a light sider. Because, like...
You can't just take stuff.
You can't just take stuff, but also there's quests that you kind of need money for if you're trying to be peaceful. God damn it, there's another frickin'...
According to the Delta Hunter L, Consultar plus Weapon Master is busted as
Ugh. Spectacular. I just blew up 3 droids at once.
nice.
They thought it was there to fix them, but they were wrong.
Sabotage.
Okay, let's see. Epic dodge. I mean, it was a bit awkwardly animated, but a lot of
Dodge.
stuff in this generation was.
Yeah, they hadn't quite gotten natural movement down yet.
Well, some games were doing mocap back then, but not a whole
Not
lot.
Greeting.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure to see you alive,
Devil May Cry's
Master.
did.
Huh?
I know that much. The Devil May
Yeah.
Cry's did.
Yeah, DMC3 did. In fact,
Yeah.
DMC...
You can still find the behind-the-scenes videos of that.
Yeah,
I was
The-
crudely
the thing about DMC3 that's entertaining, though, is that a lot of Dante's character in that game came from the actor, who was also the
Yeah.
mocap actor.
Yeah. In 4 and 5, Ruben Langdon is also the mocap actor.
Alright, I'm just, like, really quickly going through this dialogue.
pain.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yak, yak, yak.
And I'm trying to pick the same dialogue choices I did before.
Query, Master, do you have a sense of deja vu?
Because this
Never
dialogue...
been in this space before. Higher on the street.
Because this dialogue triggers light or dark side shifts, and that's important in this game, not just for you, but for the other characters as well. One of the interesting things that KOTOR 2 does is the influence system. You know how in, like, Dragon Age, you'll say something the other characters like, and they'll be like, hey, yeah, okay, that's good, I approve, or I disapprove, you're, like, not my alignment. The influence system is kind of like that, but it's a little different. The stuff you say or do based on the character's own beliefs will trigger increases or decreases in their opinion of you, but that will also, in turn, allow you to influence their alignment. What were you going to say?
But can a robot actually believe anything?
Yeah, if they've got a mind. Now, let's see. Okay. Like, I already know that the Sonic
Query,
sensor's in here, but...
Master, do you ever wonder why we're here? I don't know, Caboose. That's an interesting question.
If you're referencing something, it's another thing that I just never heard before.
Red versus blue.
Oh, that would explain why. I don't
No,
give a
I'm asking
shit
why
about
we're
red
here.
versus blue. Call me an old fogey if you want, but, like, I don't see any appeal in red versus blue.
It was much funnier back in the day.
Funny enough, that's pretty much exactly the kind of thing I don't like.
Fair enough.
If it's pure comedy, I have very little interest in it.
Greeting.
prefer comedy as an accompaniment to something serious. Now let's see.
Answer. I heard is rest.
5 droids.
Addendum.
Carol, why are you asking why my mic sounds different? It's the same one I've always been using.
Proud answer.
Also, hi, Caro.
Condescending.
How are you? You stuck watching your redneck anime? Oh, they're also saying don't forget to save.
Damn it, I went and looped around the dialogue and now I'm back to this again.
Oops.
Object.
I've already got what I need. Okay. Now, I'm gonna quick save. There we go. Now, before I go and bumble into another fight, I'm actually gonna level up because I got experience points. Oh, this is a thing that that you can do. There's you get like 1 point toward your stats every so often. Every so many levels. It doesn't happen all the time, like I don't know, every 5 levels or so. So you can actually eventually make up for your weaknesses. Now, I could put a point into strength, but I'm not going to do that yet. What I'm going to do instead is put a point into intelligence. And then at my next chance, I'm going to put another point into intelligence. Intelligence increases the number of skill points you have per level up. So,
According to MBS 78, every 4 levels you get an attribute point.
every 4 levels? Okay, so I was only remembering that partially wrong. Anyway, yeah, you gotta really think about what you're doing with your your level ups. Ah, damn it! I can't get healing until level 6.
Dang.
All right, let's see. That's the.
Zach Tapp asked, "What is our number 1 Star Wars show? Rebels or Clone Wars?" I haven't watched either.
I like Clone Wars a little bit more, to be honest, on like pretty much every count. But Rebels isn't bad. I mean, that doesn't stop people from making videos about how it sucks, but...
Yeah. Internet.
Yeah. I mean, there are some episodes that I've seen of Rebels that are just kind of lame. But, as a whole, it's not a bad show at all. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Boom! Alright. Robot's dead. Ugh.
But are robots ever really alive?
Wait, oh, I didn't even see that guy there. Jesus. Okay. Alright, so we are technically back to exactly where we were when I ended the stream last time.
Save, save, save.
Yeah, I just did.
Good.
I think these enemies came out, and I think I was exploring the room right over there. But, had I been fumbling around, make no mistake, this would have taken me ages if I didn't know what I was doing, and I was barely half paying attention to the dialogue, so... Kaboom. I love the melee animations in this game, like, I really do. It's especially fun when you're melee fighting someone who has a melee weapon of their own. Because they have, like, all this choreography going on in their animations. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. No, I do not want to use a goddamn grenade. Oh,
You accidentally used something.
No, the stupid repair droid popped in. Like... I really hate these things. It's easier to manage enemies like the repair droid when you have more than one party member to manage, but I don't. So, oh god damn it, where did those droids come from?
Came from the mysterious land up off screen.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh, and just in the chat, there are droids around the corner. Oopsie doodle.
Fortunately, it's rather easy to separate groups, so you don't need to worry too much about it. Oh, I better move over here so that guy can't shoot me. Now, as I said earlier, oh, for fuck's sake. As I said earlier, I'm playing a dexterity build, which isn't quite as useful in this game as which isn't quite as useful in KOTOR 1 as it is in this game, I should say. Like, you can make it work in KOTOR 1 until you get to the final boss, at which point you're at a horrible disadvantage all of a sudden. But in this game, Obsidian did a better job of making all the different skills that you have useful than BioWare did in the original. Now, the combat feats, the special attacks that you can use, aren't necessarily better than normal attacks. Usually they just rebalance something, like you have less defense for 6 seconds, but the attack you do with the special has double the crit rate. Which really just means, like, if you would have to roll a 20 to get a critical hit, you now have to roll a 19 or higher. Or if your specific weapon is a 19 or higher, you've doubled that, and now you can get a critical hit at 17 or higher. So don't go crazy spamming special attacks, kind of the way I was doing last session. Sometimes that renders you a little more vulnerable than you necessarily have to be. Alright, let's see. Ah, the turbo lift to the administration area. Let's head on back for a second now. Oh, there is one thing that I did differently on this save file compared to last time. Because when I started it, I didn't originally intend to use this file for the stream. I said Revan was a woman, as opposed to last.
Find anything when you were down there?
As opposed to last session when I said he was a man. So they're going to be referring to him as a she, or sometimes the subtitles are going to be referring to him as a she, and the voice files are going to be referring to him as a he. That happens in this game.
Huh.
Yeah? Did you blow it up?
Atton really doesn't like droids, by the way.
Because droids can't
They're
be
just
trusted.
robots.
So they are still alive.
It is the game
The
autosave
dormitory comm
apparently.
isn't picking up anything.
Huh?
Is there any way to get
The
to
game
them?
it is autosave apparently. So if you die, it's not a big deal anymore.
The game does autosave very inconsistently. And it didn't autosave when I went from area to area last time, so I'm gonna be a little bit more careful about that. What was he saying? Is there any way to get to him? There we go.
Voice print? Great. That means he'd have to speak the code. And he's dead, right? There's ways to beat voice prints, though. If you can
Yeah,
get samples of his
basically, if
voice
you
in
talk
the
to
right
Atton
words,
here, he
should
gives
be
you
able
some
to fake the
tips
voice
on how to
print
get
code,
around the...
if you know what it is. You know, I overheard the maintenance officer getting chewed out by the security officer. You might want to check the security office on this level and see if there's any voice samples stored in the logs. And maybe there's samples of the code in the maintenance officer's holologs, if you can find a way to record them.
Cat's still mostly about Clone Wars and Rebels.
And yeah, that's why I said earlier that there might be an alternative way to get into the to get the code, as opposed to tricking HK50 into giving it to you. Atten suggests going to the security office, so you can, you know, fumble around down in the up in the administrative level, but well, I don't have to, because I'm smart and I'm crafty and stuff. Ugh, so many broken items. Oh, a reflex package. That's not bad. Let's see. I don't have any implants yet, so that's an automatic win right there. Alright, access fuel depot layout. Yeah, I'll take that. Excellent.
Maintenance control, voice print ID, R1B5.
There we go. And you can destroy the console to try and open the door. I'm not sure if that'll work, but it's a thing that you can do. And there's actually several consoles on the way through where you can just destroy them to access the code. I'm not sure if that like wins you instant dark side points or anything, but it's a thing that you can try. More of the frickin' repair bots. I will rescind my advice not to spam combat feats when it comes to people using blasters, because in my experience, like having Mira, who joins you later on, pull out 2 blaster pistols and just spam rapid fire at everything is a very effective way to kill things fast.
Well, lots of bullets tend to do that.
Okay, so it's time. Well, first, quick save. But we get a spacesuit now.
Oh boy.
The spacesuit's actually important for later on, too, over on Nar Shaddaa, but... Hey, we're outside. Look at those ugly star textures.
We're out in space. Ground control to Major Tom.
The planet in the background, which you probably can't see yet, is Peragus 2, I think. 2? Peragus 2. That is a fuel planet. It's the only source of fuel for this entire sector of space.
Ouch.
Don't walk through the fire. That would be a bad idea. Wait for it to stop going, or you can just walk through.
So this asteroid thing has thrusters on it?
It's not a thruster. It's an exhaust port.
Okay, from the graphics, it kind of looked like a thruster.
Yeah, it almost does. But there's a conversation with Atten in like 3 seconds that explains why they're going.
I lost your signal after you left the mining tunnel.
So why don't we take this planetoid and push it somewhere else?
On the asteroid's surface. That can't be right.
Atten, I'm right outside the observation window.
Huh? What are you doing out there?
I need to reach the miners in the dormitory section, and this is the only way to get there.
You're crazy, even for a Jedi. Look, you need to get out of there, quick.
I'm trying to pick up the pace, believe me.
What little is left of the facility's venting systems have gone active, most likely from the explosions in the mining tunnels. They're venting Peragus fuel
Mabizmo
deposits
says
into
the walk may
space
be
from
silly,
the
but it's an
exterior
improvement to the
vents,
crawl
right in
underwater
your
from the
path.
first game.
Why are their vents placed so close to the exterior scaffolding?
That's just it.
Delta
They're not
Hunter
supposed to
L
be
also
active
says you
when
can
the
cast
airlock's
force
open,
speed while
and
in
not
the
without
suit.
the safety measures kicking in. The vents look like they've been
I mean,
purposely rerouted
I
to
know you
vent the
can, but
gases
that
to
just
the
blurs up the
exterior.
screen.
And only in the last few minutes. It's almost as if... What now?
Uh-oh. Dramatic stuff is happening.
I don't believe this.
Da, da,
There's a
da,
ship
da.
coming in, sending a docking code. I have a bad feeling about this.
So, this is a Republic cruiser. Kind of like the old Republic timeline predecessors of the Republic ships you see in the prequels. Well, it's the same class of ship that you start KOTOR 1 on, so a lot of these rooms are going to look really familiar.
Reuse content. Reuse content.
Yeah. Well, it is a more complex place to explore than it is in the beginning section of KOTOR 1. Although I haven't played enough KOTOR 1 to know whether or not they do that ship again later. But, it's the guy from the title screen who looks like an obvious bad guy. I'm pretty sure this guy's name is like Darth Nihilus or something. And, he's bad. He's bad news.
He looks bad.
One of the things about the KOTOR games is that because you have the option to be light or dark, they both had to give you a bad guy that you could fight as either a good guy or a complete psychopath. So the motivations of the bad guys and their connection to you tend to be quite interesting. But Obsidian, I would say, did a better job at it than BioWare. Mostly because, you know, for as terrible as Darth Nihilus is, he's not the focus. He's kind of this...
they're saying that's Scion.
That's Scion? Okay, so they're two different people? Huh. Alright. I caught some hints that they might be the same person, but I guess Scion starts the title screen when you have no save files and Nihilus takes over once you see him in a cutscene.
Yeah, they're saying Nihilus is the dude in the mask.
Yeah, I thought, like, you saw Nihilus before the mask, but before his body, like, completely gave up on him, but guess not. I know that there are 3 Sith Lords that are key to the story, and I'm pretty sure I know the identity of the other one, but let's not go into that now.
He has come.
Anyway, basically, the Sith Lords in this game are all, like, really goddamn interesting on a level that you're not going to see in the likes of Vader or even Palpatine or Dooku. Those things don't stay off for very long, do they? I swear when I was playing this normally, I was able to get by those things without getting damaged. But it's a little hard to tell when they're on or off. The effect they use for the exhaust isn't great. There's probably a mod that makes it better. Fortunately, these guys don't have shields, so I don't even need to bother switching back to my sword. Don't underestimate your non-Jedi characters in this game. They can be pretty handy. Although,
Well, I'd hope so, otherwise there'd be no point in using them.
one of the interesting things is that some of them can be upgraded to Jedi later on, if you play your cards right. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Oh. Of course, I managed to deal like a heavy hit right before I used the power attack feat.
Oh.
So he's got like a sliver of health when power attack goes off.
It's like how you always get a critical hit in Pokemon when they're at like low HP.
Yeah. Now the fire suppression systems have gone active and I can't even make it to the dormitory section. I watched the turrets turn their carbonite freezer rays on Mabin before he even got halfway across the room. Fortunately, their range doesn't seem to go beyond the room itself, so I was able to remain safe in the corridor, but I didn't have any ranged weapons to take them out from a distance. Hang on, I'm going to use my mouse because whenever you try to use the analog stick for this, it scrolls the camera up. And I didn't have a stealth field generator to sneak across the room either. I tried unlocking the storage room door to see if there were any cold-resistant items or grenades I could use, but the door was sealed from the lockdown. I don't know enough about security systems to open it, and I didn't have a sonic charge to blow the door open. Still, as long as the droids don't make it into this section, I should be alright. For the record, I have no idea which parts of this game are actual parts of the game and which were added back in by the content restoration mod. I know Nar Shaddaa is made significantly longer by the content restoration mod, but I'm not sure exactly where that happens. Anyway. Broken item. Oh well. Oh.
Michael Hudson says, by the way, Lewis, go get the stun droid force power, because once you get to level 3 version of it, destroy droid, it will obliterate basically all droids in the game. Extremely useful against armored ones.
I just used the stun droid power on that droid back there. So, way ahead of you there, buddy. Oh, a Mandalorian melee shield. I'm going to hang on to that. Those are useful. Especially in this... what? Go ahead.
So Mandalorian melee shield. EA announces a new version of KOTOR 1 and 2. It says Mandalorian melee shield, trademark registration available now on Disney Plus.
Yeah. The Mandalorian melee shield, though, is basically an energy shield for melee attacks. So, like, there's this point in a bar later on Nar Shaddaa where Atton has to go one-on-one with two assassins who are attacking with swords. I just flipped on the Mandalorian melee shield and he owned them both. It was a bit of a drawn-out battle, but they could barely touch him. So, yeah. There aren't very many situations where you need a melee shield, to be honest, so you can be a bit frugal with those. Now let's see, I have insulated gloves, which gives you 30% versus cold and 20% versus fire. I'm actually gonna... hang on. Oh, I've already got one. Okay.
Hold up, he's already got one. What do you mean you've already got one?
I'm gonna do a proper save file so that I don't accidentally save over my Nar Shaddaa file later. They only separate your save files into different lists when they're technically different characters. Yeah, I was actually, like, legitimately surprised when I was playing this game how many of the systems Mass Effect, like, ripped wholesale from Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, there you go.
Now, if you just stand outside the room and shoot at these things, they won't attack you, because their range does not extend beyond the door.
We have a $2 donation from Mike Manhattan. Have you guys ever played Life of Black Tiger? No, and it's a piece of shit, so why would I bother?
I don't go into the habit of actually trying the games the AVGN reviews, you know?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, unless he reviews one and it's a good game, but, like, the last time that happened, it's one I've already played, so... I'm talking about Chex Quest. I totally got one of those out of the cereal box when I was a kid. Oh, God. I hate it when you miss with a blaster shot and it fires into the floor. Where are you aiming? Come on. Thankfully, your accuracy does get quite a lot better as you know, get higher in level and get better equipment that affects your hit rate. But it's a little frustrating when you're missing in an unlosable fight like this. Fight in massive air quotes, because I can't actually get hit here. Alright. Let's just pick up these mines. And when you do pick the recover mine option, you need a higher demolition skill to pull it off than you do for just disabling it, but you get to keep the mine. It's like Fallout in that way. Then there are situations where you can totally put those mines to use. One character in particular that you recruit on Nar Shaddaa has a special ability that just doesn't set off any mines at all when she walks through them. So you can set a bunch of traps, have her go and, you know, pull all the monsters and then run them through your traps. Like, it works like It works really great, actually. If there are mines already set up in the arena, they might be vulnerable to those mines, so you can have them... So you can have them walk through those mines, too. Although they aren't always vulnerable. Some enemies are actually... some mines are set up so that they won't explode if, like, a droid crosses them. If like, the droids that work in the ship cross them or something. I think the mines in this area are the same, but the game doesn't tell you. Oh, for fuck's sake. Normally, your goddamn character will auto-attack in that situation, but, frickin' save rolls. Okay. Okay. That was a little too perilous for my liking, but I won. A win's a win. Now, you don't have to heal yourself. Your health will regenerate with time, but it regenerates very, very slowly, and you don't really gain a way to mitigate that until you learn the Force Heal ability at level 6. Pick that up, like, pretty much the moment it becomes available, by the way. Hello there.
Hello there.
In Clone
General
Wars,
Kenobi.
in Clone Wars, Dooku says that to Kenobi before he says it to him. So it was retroactively made into like a really good troll moment by Ben. Like he throws Dooku's line back at him. Wait, did something?
No, he did the hello there to Grievous.
Oh wait, like earlier in Clone Wars.
Oh, in Clone Wars now.
No, in Clone Wars, he says Dooku pops up to Kenobi and says hello there.
Yeah.
So it was made retroactively into a take that. Oh, this is... Okay, I think there might be a repair droid on the other side of a wall that's actually... Oh, god damn it! Oh, I got cryo-frozen.
I was frozen.
Okay, I stunned that droid. I'm going to surprise attack this motherfucker. Ugh. Dead. Run! 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 Just get a wall between yourself and the enemy. Eventually it will stop pursuing you, but apparently not this one. Okay. In that case, okay. I didn't want to use any med packs. I consider it a personal failure whenever I have to use a med pack in battle.
Well, you do what you gotta.
The truly humiliating thing about them is that they're not very good, unless they're used by a character with a high treat injury skill. And at this point in the game, that's no one. Like... Oh, I leveled up, thank God.
Oh, you can get Force Heal now?
No, that's not why I'm saying thank God. When you level up, even if you do the level up operation in the middle of battle, it restores your health to full.
Oh, that's always a good thing to see in an RPG.
It's always useful whenever a game does that. Like, I don't think there's ever a situation where it's not. Anyway...
That's like one of my favorite things to do when I know a game does that, is like, I'll just go into a... It's like, I'll heal myself up for a boss fight, and then be super stingy with my healing items, because if I can get through it, I'll almost guarantee to level up, and then I'll just be healed anyway.
I'm going to take improved dueling this time, which is basically the second rank of proficiency with one-handed weapons. It affects unarmed combat, it affects single blaster pistols, and also single melee weapons, but only one-handed ones. So basically, that's the civilized dueling style. Whether it's dueling in a Wild West style or in a lightsaber combat situation. Okay, I can't take Force Heal yet. I'm gonna take Stun. Because that's actually pretty useful. But actually, we are going to be coming up on some organic enemies soon, so... You know, you can learn force push and stuff, but for the life of me, every time I try, every gosh darn time I try, it fails. I have never experienced the joy of a successful force push. Okay, so sometimes you have two different ways to get a computer to do what you want. Well, apart from the destroy the console to force open the dormitory door option. I can use a repair part or a computer spike. I think both of these will work at my current skill, but I'm going to use the repair parts because I've got frickin' 12 of those, and I've only got one computer spike.
Oh, there you go. That makes the decision kind of easy.
Yep. Okay, check the duty shift logs. Therapeutic, nothing more than... Okay, nothing important there. Remote camera controls. Ew, that's a lot of robots and dead bodies.
That's a whole pack of robots.
Dormitory West, gas and dead bodies. And the one computer spike I have left, I can use to shut down the dormitory ventilation system. You don't have to do this because you can find a breath mask, which makes you immune to poison gas. But, you know, might as well. Another cryo gun. Hang on. Let me just switch on over to my gun and sniper shot the bastard. Oh, for fuck's sake. A repair droid. Where are you aiming? Come on. There we go. That's dead. Oh! It's another spider droid with a goddamn, shield. Sword time. Alright. Everything's going good now. Oh, there's another one. Hang on. Another one of these goddamn fire extinguishers. Alright, let's see. I think sniper shot is more accurate than regular shooting, but I'm not sure.
Just kind of depends on your own experience with accuracy.
Another damaged container, kaboom. What have we got here? Biorestorative underlay Mark 1. Oh, it's an underlay for robes in light armor. Alright, another minor sonic mine for this door. I probably could have plasma torched that, actually. Hello there, okay. More
Hello
guards.
there. In the chat, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, hello there.
Alright, I managed to lure this guy out of the room, so if there's another one in there, it doesn't know that I'm here fighting its buddy. The enemy AI is very exploitable in some instances. Oh god damn it, it's not auto-attacking. Why is it not auto-attacking? I've never had this problem while playing the game normally, and I don't know why. I will say that, like, the AI for your party isn't great either. Like, it will never do what you want it to do optimally. It just won't. You can't micromanage very well. Like, even if you pick the stationary option for their behavior pattern, they'll run back into combat and then stand there in range of the enemy instead of, you know, waiting behind the wall where you left them. The bastard. Come on. So, yeah.
Sonic Bot asks, will there be any Star Wars games being played on the channel in the future? If not, has anyone considered it? Well, there's no plans at the moment, but I mean, there's always, I'm sure, some games we could play, like the Super Star Wars games, or...
Didn't we do Rogue Squadron or something?
Yep, I did that a while ago.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
like, I'm sure John or I could do, like, the Super Star Wars games, or we could do Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire would be a trip. That's a really jank-ass game. No, why did you target the item box? There's an enemy right in front of you. Ugh.
Speaking of that game, with Life of Me as a kid, I could never get past mission 2 because I didn't know you could interact with that particular console. So I would run around, I would play the first mission, which is the Battle of Hoth. Now I would get to the first, the shooting section for the second level, and I could never beat it.
Yeah.
I had to come back to it years later before I could actually make progress in that game.
It's kind of my experience with it too, minus the coming back years later part. I just could not play that game. It's really jank.
It was a game I owned for the N64 because my parents bought it for me, so it's like, well, I have it.
I mean, I had a hard enough time adjusting to Castlevania 64's controls.
Ugh.
That's my limit, for jank. I mean, say what you want about Mega Man Legends, but at least the controls are,
mostly work.
They mostly work for what they were at the time. The only problem with the controls is how early 3D they are. They're
super stiff, yeah.
Yeah, they're stiff, but they work. Okay, here's another data pad. Got another lecture about contraband today. Security hasn't started doing spot checks of our quarters yet, so my cache in the lower bunk in my room in the eastern dormitory should be safe. You won't even know it's there unless you know to look for it. Corta came around again asking if I had any special cargo to sell, but I was getting a bad feeling about how he was asking, so I stayed quiet about my stash. I'm going to keep that blaster I smuggled from Telos, and a few grenades there just in case things get rough. Only benefit to having a room in the farthest from the door is that it should buy me enough time to dump the contraband if security does a surprise inspection. Okay, I don't know why you have to be that guy who is keeping a real blaster in this place when, highly flammable gas.
Green Raccoon says he wants the game starring the Chuck Norris of the Star Wars universe, Kyle Katarn.
Yeah, Jedi Outcast actually just came out for consoles a little while ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's another game we could potentially do in the future.
It's good, but the first, third or half or so is the most irritatingly inconsistent goddamn difficulty curve I've ever seen in a first-person shooter, and that's an annoying thing. It's an annoying thing to endure, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, you just want to get to the point where you have a lightsaber. And that's not to say that the shooting gameplay didn't have any fun to be had. It was a good game, and I had a blast getting through some particularly difficult challenges because I was just that stubborn when I played. But at the end of that half of the game, I was also really fatigued. So I'll pick up the game again later this week, probably. I stopped right at the Jedi Temple where I was about to meet Luke. Alright, datapad. I swear they're never going to get around to fixing the ventilation systems. And if the food processor's back up again, then next time the fumes start flooding the mess hall, I'll be dead rather than just nauseous. I'll keep the breath mask here, just in case we have a repeat incident. Now, I'm not going to use the breath mask here because I turned off the vents, but it is actually very useful for the surface of Telos, where you have to go through an area that has some gas traps. You can just put the breath mask on whoever has stealth and have them stealth into a room and set off all the gas traps before you send everyone in to take down the drones and droids. It's a handy way to go about it. Okay, so did I get everything? I think I got everything. The irritating thing about the containers in these games is that not all of the container models in the environment are containers. They're just, there. Alright, I've explored the mess hall area, so all that's left, I think, is the dorms. let's see. Oh, I haven't opened the door yet. End to dormitory emergency lockdown. There we go. When you're playing this game, and you're not taking it a little bit fast because you need to keep things moving for a stream, do a whole bunch of different stuff, because there are a lot of sources of experience points that you can find.
Biggest step, get an experience point.
Oh yeah, and if the game presents you an opportunity to kill off an enemy without actually fighting them, take it, because you'll get the experience points whether you fight to kill them or not. Alright, another mining droid. I think when you're fighting point-blank range against something that's using a blaster, their accuracy suffers, unless they have, like, the ability to fight at close range, which is a feat you gain when leveling up. That also applies to you, though, so it's a good policy to give everyone melee weapons as a backup, even if you have them on range duty. Another Mandalorian melee shield. Great. Good, good, good.
That's 2. Now available on Disney+.
2 was about how much it took to beat the twin sons on Nar Shaddaa when I fought them. Oh, a damaged door. Can't plasma torch that. Gotta blow it open. Oh, damn it. I always do that. I back away just an instant too slow. An instant too fast, rather. If you do that, it won't set the mine. You cancel the action. Hey, it's that hidden cache of contraband that the guy was talking about. 2 frag grenades, a blaster pistol, and an ion grenade. The ion grenade in particular is good. For this point in the game, anyway. Oh, and some heavy battle armor, because, that's something I can totally use in it. Except I don't have the proficiency for it, and I think it completely cuts your dexterity bonus. So you gotta be careful about that. The rule that less armor means being able to move faster is very much alive in this game's design. You need to watch out what your armor does when you put it on. Some armor restricts force powers, some armor inflicts a maximum dexterity bonus on you that may or may not make you worse at avoiding things or hitting things, depending on what you're doing. Dexterity naturally only goes to blaster fire as far as hit accuracy goes, but there is a pair of feats you can get when leveling up. One is finesse melee weapons, and the other is finesse lightsabers. And basically what that does is for your accuracy, it lets you use your dexterity bonus instead of your strength bonus like normal. I am definitely using those, but you know, it's something to keep in mind. You don't want to put heavy armor on a character that would actively be weakened by it. Often the best defense is a good offense, by which I mean if you're accurate enough, you'll usually kill the enemy before it kills you, unless everyone is dogpiling you.
Or you just get absurdly unlucky. Which is known to happen.
I actually forgot to do something over here. Hang on. There are these 2 consoles. One of them is busted, but you can salvage parts from it or something, or probably components, which are 2 different things. But yeah, broken log terminal. Repair, scavenge the console for components. You have scavenged some components from the broken terminal. There we go, components.
Yay.
Those are used for crafting items. You don't need like a bunch of specific items, you just need a requisite number of component items. That's going to be really useful once we get a lightsaber, because the lightsaber upgrade system in this game is freaking crazy, man. You can do a lot of stuff with lightsabers. Okay, nothing in here. Let me just loot the place before I advance the plot.
Looting is always good in RPGs.
Yeah, and thankfully this one is like Mass Effect in the sense that you basically have infinite inventory, so you don't have to worry about the kind of stuff you have to worry about in Baldur's Gates. Or
How did they carrying all that stuff with the Force?
I'm sure she just has a bag of holding somewhere. Anyway, the point is...
This is Star Wars. It's the bag of forcing.
Okay.
The Force explains everything.
I actually didn't break any items that time. I'm impressed. 56 credits and a Mandalorian melee shield. Nice find.
And a magic fire ring.
Might as well be a magic fire ring.
Na, 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 na.
A Rakatan band? I don't think I've actually ever seen that. Rakatan band. That is a wisdom +1. Oh, okay. So if you got someone who's, just 1 point shy of a wisdom modifier boost, you can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep...
Well, maybe if that guy had used it on himself, he would have been smart enough to stay alive.
One more room. A reflex package. And that's it. Alright. Let's quick save real fast and then activate the log terminal.
Let's mosey.
Alright, there are 3 hollow logs that I picked up. So you can insert them and they'll stay in this computer permanently. But this one is encrypted, but for some reason doesn't require any spikes. Okay. Access entry, private comlink message.
What did you want to talk to me about? I have to suit up and drill the 3219K asteroid claim within the hour, so talk quick.
I heard you had plans for the Jedi. About selling her to the
Is that
exchange.
Travis Touchdown?
But security already set their piece on that, didn't
I don't know, is it?
Nobody's getting sold to anyone.
The stream needs to catch up. Are you talking about looks or his voice?
Voice.
Maybe the two of us.
Oh, I mean, it could be Roman Atkin downs.
Doesn't
I don't
matter
know.
what we work out. We wouldn't make one hyperspace jump before what's left
It
of the
sounds a lot
Republic
like
was on
him.
us.
If you have a way off this station, I can cover our tracks.
I mean, it's fitting for this guy to be voiced by Travis Touchdown
I may
because,
know
like,
someone. Works
he's
the
a
system
fuck
on
up.
Special jobs. He may want to know details.
Swear
but
jar.
I might be able to arrange transport.
I've seen the logs. I know you've already asked him and given the details. Once he agrees, I can handle the rest.
Handle the rest? Like how?
When the time comes, I'll contact you via comlink. Maintenance out.
Since when did the maintenance officer...
Yeah, the hologram stuff in Star Wars always looks weird in games until you get to, like, the PS3 era.
Yeah, it does the... Well, even in the PS3 era, Mass Effect 1 had the same issue this game has, where you can sort of see their eyeballs inside their heads.
Yeah. Because they just take miles and then make them, like, semi-transparent and blue.
Yep.
And it kind of doesn't really work.
This may be the beginning of a long
Oh,
run. It's about an
you can
hour
see this
after the
guy's
facility suffered the
eyeballs.
explosion that triggered
Like, the
emergency
entire
lockdown.
eyeball.
Just finished helping the dock officer set up the transmission relay. Not much signal
Like the
strength,
aliens
but
from
better
Mars
than nothing.
attacks.
The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. Code is a simple group of 5
This guy
numbers.
also
3,
has a very
17,
recognizable voice.
13. Then the next 2 numbers are
Sir, couldn't we contact the medbay? Maybe the Jedi's awake. If so, she could help us.
no good. The link to the medical computer was severed from the hub,
I
just like the
wouldn't know.
administration console. Even if the Jedi wakes up, how would we get the dormitory turbo lift code to her? Without it, the turbo lift to the administration level is locked down. We just took an inventory
Okay,
of
so
our
the
supplies.
puzzle you have to solve
Gotta
here
have
has to do
emergency
with
rations
solving
in
the
dormitories
code
to last almost
to
a
open the
month.
turbo lift
With
and
all
get
the
to the
problems
next
in the
area.
facility, I don't know how long we'll
1,
last.
2, 3, 4, 5.
You only get part of the code, and you have to figure out the rest of the code.
Someone's played us
But
for fools.
here's the trick. You find out from a later transmission that HK50 reversed the code to fuck with Corta and make sure he couldn't get out.
To the ventilation system.
Oops.
So, you have to figure out what the code is backwards. But if you have a high enough intelligence stat, Obsidian does this thing where it often unlocks dialogue options
Shortcuts.
based on your intelligence stat or your charisma or whatever. So if you have a high enough intelligence stat, and this character does, you can you get a dialogue prompt as soon as you know enough to enter the code backwards without actually manually entering it. So, yeah.
We managed to get to the
Okay,
dormitories.
more
We should be safe here.
transmissions.
We've been trying to use the holo
I'm not
transmitter.
sure.
According to Grey
Administration
OTT,
level
Robin
begins the
Atkins Downs
lockdown.
does have additional
But the
voices listed for
administration
KOTOR
console's
too,
been
so it might
severed
actually
from
have
the
been
main
him.
hub.
Oh,
Everyone thinks
okay.
we should try to
Nice.
evacuate on our own as soon as possible.
Yeah.
There's no way to break the dormitory seals from the inside. I'm going to keep sending distress calls in the meantime. We've been
You
trying
can
to find a
destroy
way
the
to circumvent
console to open the
lockdown and get to
lift.
our hangar bay, but so far,
But,
no luck.
I'm trying to do this, like, according to how my character would do it, and I'm
Situation's
playing,
worse than we
like,
thought.
serious light side
Even if we get out
Jedi.
of here, we can't shut down the
So-
fuel depot force fields if a fuel leak was detected. If so, the only way off this asteroid is if a ship docks with us.
I'm also
But the only
not
connection
sure
to
if
the
you'll get the
docking
same
platform
number
is
of
on the
experience
administration
points if
level.
you destroy
We can't get up to the docking bay while we're
console.
trapped here. I
Like,
only
you
hope
straight
someone
up might
survived the
not.
explosion in the mining tunnels. If not, then we're stranded here. Unless our transmission reaches a
Yes, I'm
passing
going
ship.
to
Or a Gelos
repair
freighter.
HK-47. Don't worry. Oh, wait, which one did I just play?
Managed to use the holo transmitter
Okay.
here as a crude relay to beam short burst transmissions outside the Peragus facility. With any luck, the transmission will carry beyond the asteroid field. We've set the emergency transmission on automatic playback. We're using a simple military flash code to
Right.
transmit the code to the
So
turbo
this
lift,
is how you
so
get
maybe
the
our
code.
rescuers can get down to the dormitory when they reach the station.
They were
Without
sending
those turbo lift
a
codes,
repeat,
our rescuers wouldn't be able to get here from the administration level.
a repeat
And without those
distress
codes,
call that
we
contained
wouldn't be
the
able to get
code.
to the administration level
You don't
and found a
actually
way out on
get
our
the
own.
distress call itself,
The
I don't
messages are
think.
short distress calls
But
only,
you do
since we can't get much signal
listen to
strength.
the other guy
It's
talking
pretty
about the
weak.
distress
So
code,
unless a ship is actively
and he's
searching the
interrupted
area,
partway
it might be
through
a long
reciting
time
what the
before a
code
ship picks up
is.
the message. After all, who would be scouring frequencies way out here looking for trouble?
The guy brings up a point, but you destroy droids, Lewis. You don't care about machines.
The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when
Oh,
or if
here's
help
the
arrives.
transmission.
Code is a simple group of 5 numbers. 3,
Transmission is
17,
ground
13.
control
Then
to
the next 2 numbers
Major
are
Tom. Wrong
So,
transmission.
If you have a high enough intelligence stat, this is another shortcut. You can pick the intelligence option. Looks like a military flash code. It looks like the dot equals 1, the dash equals 10, and the X is 5. Now you might think from that you're supposed to solve it based on that hint. Nope. Just go into your menu, check the journal. It actually tells you what the remaining numbers are. The code is 317, 13, 5, and 7. And this is not something that's randomized. So, it's the same thing every time.
I mean, looking at the numbers, it's not hard to figure the last 2 numbers out anyway.
Yeah, I know. But if you have a high enough intelligence stat, you don't even have to do that yourself. Your character solves it for you. Anyway, I'm going to quick save, since I got all of that. Now the turbo lift is over by the mess hall. I think like
Pete, the Ultimate Gamer says the code is 8675309.
I don't get it.
That's an 80s song.
Oh.
So much so that they don't think they register that number anymore because people prank call it all the time.
Alright. Access camera logs. Recording 5 minutes after emergency lockdown.
Almost didn't make it out of the dormitory section before the lockdown, you Murglak. You're cutting a little close, aren't you?
Yes, a regrettable miscalculation on my part. I'm contacting you because I'm picking up a subspace transmission from within that level. Is that your doing?
No, they must be trying to use the old relay system to send an emergency signal. I doubt they know what's really going on.
Hey, this turbo lift's locked down.
Try the code again, and don't worry about the miners and their transmission. By the time help arrives, we'll be all the way to Nar Shaddaa.
Oh, they won't be leaving the dormitories. The explosion within the tunnel has damaged the ventilation systems, causing breaches in the
So,
core of
Travis
the conduit.
Touchdown over here didn't know what the
It's going
droid
to
was
kill them
planning.
all.
He didn't even know he was talking to a
But I'm sending
droid.
a number of mining
Because the
droids to
droid
your
was using a
location
human
right now
vocabulator
correct that
to
problem.
a human voice through his vocabulator to
Locked
disguise
down.
his
The sequence isn't working.
his
Who's doing
identity.
it? You. Why
It's
are
a
you
good
doing
thing I'm
this?
indestructible.
Why me?
But this is the recording that
never
tells
about you.
you that it's
Jedi is all
HK50
that
who
interests
did all
me.
this because
But
he
then you had to
switches
ruin
back to
everything
his
by
normal
revealing
voice
her
partway through
identity
this.
And then trying to harm her. and that I cannot allow.
It's an actually pretty effective
You are a
scene.
risk, Corda. You are impulsive, crude, and soon deceased.
He just sends in the droids. I like how the security camera, instead of having a screen, just replays the entire scene on holograms throughout the room.
Sonic Bot, it's not two holograms talking to each other, it's a security recording.
Smug statement.
Yeah, it's a security recording,
I forgot
yeah.
to mention that I reversed the turbolift codes. In case
Heath,
you
the Ultimate
managed
Gamer,
to
says
get
Malik
this
is the
far.
first meatbag.
It's really, really fortunate for the Exile that the droid decided to boast at the end of the recording. So, I have a high enough intelligence that I can enter the code. You can also try to slice the door if you got the computer skill for it. You can enter the code manually, or destroy the console to force the door open, but I don't need to do that, because I'm smart.
I am so smart. SMRT.
250 XP. Smug statement. He also says annoying recitation at the beginning of some sentences, or the other ones do, anyway. Hey, Kreia. Oh no, it's doing that thing where the voice is not.
If we cannot...
Hang on. Ahem. Fortunately, the game autosaves right before this point. I had this exact same bug happen to me the first time I played.
Emergency lockdown overridden.
I have felt a disturbance. Our enemy is here. We must leave at once.
Hey, Kreia. Why did you just gesture, like, for 3 seconds before speaking? Why isn't the black letterbox at the bottom of the screen spawning in? What's happening to the universe? Enemy?
The one that fired upon the Ebon Hawk as we attempted to rescue you. And he will not let us go without blood being shed.
Wait, who is this enemy?
The story is a long one, and time is short. Come, we must
Who
go.
are you?
Alright, let's go.
We need to make our way to the docking area on this level. I fear the airlock has already opened, and if so, we must be on our guard. If we cannot reach the Ebon Hawk, then we must find a way to escape on the ship that has docked here.
Okay, so when Kreia is in your party, everyone gets a bonus to experience. Because she's
Time to grind.
she's a mentor. Well, you can't really grind. There are
Time to grind anyway.
There are no random enemies. There's a finite amount of experience gainable. Oh! That looks like trouble. So yeah, we've got Stealth Sith coming after us. That's great. I told you we were gonna run into some
Nasties.
organic enemies. Oh yeah. Kreia, by the way, is true neutral. This is not like some sort of lie or anything, as you might suspect from certain scenes that play later. She is actually, like, strongly opposed to both the light and the dark sides of the Force, which leads to an annoying quirk that you really need to learn to get used to, in that Kreia's gonna bitch about everything you do in this game. You do something good, she's going to lecture you about how that could lead to negative repercussions in the future. And if you try to go full dark, she's also going to get on your case for that. It's interesting, philosophically, the kind of points she can make when she's arguing these points at you. But you gotta bear with it for a little while to get to that point, because it's like, wow. Where is your soul, woman? Anyway, okay, what should I do in terms of stats? Okay. For Kreia...
According to High Voltage, one of the things you can do is just agree with everything she says. To get her on your good side.
That doesn't really work in this game, to be honest. Often the things that you do prompt criticism from her, and you have to come up with a reasonable explanation for why you did them for her to approve. Is the thing. So it's not really a matter of agreeing with what she says, but sometimes agreeing with what she says does help. Like, she'll criticize, and you can say, okay, yeah, maybe you got a point. What stat do I want to increase here? Let's go intelligence, yeah. Alright, skills. What have we got here? 4 remaining points. I'll give Kreia treat awareness. I'm not going to bother with repair for Kreia. She doesn't need it. Awareness, stealth, and I'll keep the remaining point. I'm not going to use Kreia to, like, craft anything. I've got other characters that I want to focus on for repair. Let's see. I can't get force deflection yet. Force deflection and its better counterpart, force redirection, basically allow any force user to redirect blaster bolts without using a lightsaber. Basically, that one scene from The Empire Strikes Back where Vader just raises his hand and knocks the bolts away, you can do that. And it's actually pretty effective. Of course, once you get a lightsaber, you'll deflect stuff anyway, but having those abilities increases your odds of doing that, even with a lightsaber. So it's definitely worth it. Okay, what's this? Force body. I'm gonna get shock with Kreia. She's neutral, so she doesn't have any penalty for using light or dark side powers, but she also doesn't gain the advantage of being closer to the side she's using powers from. Oh, she actually leveled up more than once there. That's good.
How about that?
Stealth, awareness, treat injury. Okay. And for the next power, I'm going to take Mind Trick.
Mind Crush.
Alright, let's see.
Ooh, apparently a new episode of SAO Bridge came out.
Nice. I'll
What
have to
in
check that out
space
later.
is going on? Who's this? Another Jedi? What, did you guys suddenly start breeding when I wasn't looking?
I like Atten. He's great. I actually didn't think I would like Atten so much, but as you go through the game and learn more about him, he's probably one of the best characters in this goddamn franchise. It'll take too long to explain. We need to leave. Now.
Alright. I'm guessing that Republic ship that just docked isn't carrying friends of yours.
I hope your talent for understatement is offset by your skill with a blaster. If not, then I fear our time together will be short indeed.
Yeah, and I'm also good at running and drinking, Your Majesty. And even if you two aren't big friends of the Republic, that warship's the only way off this station.
Alright, now here's the thing. Atten has a special power that comes in real handy. Basically, as long as he's not the last one standing, he auto-revives himself whenever he's knocked out. He auto-revives himself with very low HP, so he'll often just get knocked out right away, unless something else is distracting them. But
I mean, he'll take some hits at least.
He can bounce back from getting knocked out, is the thing. And the more he gets beat up, the better his saving throws are. So he does gain some resilience at low HP. So, yeah.
Good thing we have a clear run to the ship.
Threat. Master,
Oh, hi,
perhaps
HK.
I did not enunciate clearly the last time we spoke. I suggested that you should shut down, stay put, and wait for rescue.
After all you've caused, rescue is hardly the term I would use.
Correction. I am not here to argue semantics, Master, so I will simply inform you that you are wrong, as were those recently corrected miners.
So you did kill all the miners.
Indignant answer. Master, The miners intended to place you in jeopardy. I could not allow that to take place, so I was forced to negotiate a termination of hostilities. After reprogramming the mining droids to mine any organics they perceived, they began to kill the miners one by one. Then a series of flawlessly timed explosions drove the miners into their dormitories, where I was able to gas them all at once without wasting time hunting them through the mining tunnels. I then administered a large dose of sedatives to the remaining miners in the med bay.
It's all
Enough
kind
to
of
kill
chilling
them,
what this droid
but
did,
ensure
really.
You slept peacefully. Of course, against
But
my calculations, you awakened from
now
your
I know that
prematurely.
in canon Star Wars there is a bounty hunter droid, and in the extended universe that droid is apparently quite a bit of a badass. But this guy is nowhere near on that droid's level. He's kind of stupid about what he says and what questions he answers. Why did you want to capture me?
Answer. It is beyond the scope of my programming to probe the motivations of my clients, Master. Suffice to say that I am being well compensated for my services. You have been a difficult target to
Alex
find.
also noticed me, Master
You have been
Senpai.
wandering the galaxy since the end of the Mandalorian Wars, leaving little record of your passage. It is as if you did not wish to be found.
Gray Atiti says that's IG-88. He's bringing terrifying in Shadows of the Empire.
Likely, the Jedi Order.
Yeah. Right, I forgot he was a boss in that game.
Admission.
Okay, so the droid found you completely by
I happened
accident.
to be serving as a protocol droid on the Harbinger when you booked passage.
Well,
After
that's
that, it was a
convenient.
simple matter to
Question mark.
sabotage the
He just
Harbinger
happened to be on the
and
same
call for
ship.
a retrieval.
But the Sith
Irritated
found
statement.
you at the same time that he was
When
trying to
the
recover
Ebon
you,
Hawk appeared
and the
salvaged
Ebon
us
Hawk
from the
found
wreckage,
you at the same
I
time the
was
Sith
forced
found
into a
you.
series of rapid
So
recalculations,
basically, this whole
culminating
situation was
in
set
our
off by
current
3 people
situation.
finding the exile all at once.
According to High Voltage, IG-88 was in the Empire Strikes Back. He's in that group of bounty
Yeah,
hunters.
yeah, he appears in the group of bounty hunters, but he's not identified and he has no dialogue.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who is this client of yours?
Chiding answer. My programming renders me incapable of
I will be
revealing
right
the
back.
identity of my client, Master.
Okay.
However, I am free to say that my client is wealthy and very interested in possessing the last of the Jedi.
And we'll find out more about that on Nar Shaddaa. Ugh, tongue twister. So what now? Are you going to kill me?
Answer. No, Master. Killing you was never the intention. If you resist my attempts to return you to your Colto tank, however, I may inadvertently fracture your skeleton in several places to incapacitate you.
I don't want to fight you, but I will if you leave me no other choice.
Resignation. Very well, Master. If inflicting pain is the only means to resolve this matter, then you leave me no choice.
Okay. This makes things easy. Thankfully, the tactical pause actually gives you plenty of time to level up Atten. Now, I did mention this earlier, but
Okay, back.
hey. I did mention this earlier, but you can train different characters as Jedi as the game progresses, or at least train them to use the Force. Maybe they become Sith, I don't know. It all counts as Jedi whatever as far as the class system is concerned. Atten is one of them later on, but what that means is if you go in knowing that ahead of time, you can basically refuse to level him up after a certain point, so that you can instantly gain a bunch of levels in your Jedi class when you make the upgrade. Your total levels will add up to whatever total amount they're supposed to be. It's just the moment a character becomes a Jedi, they stop leveling up as Scoundrel or Bounty Hunter or whatever. And
Mobismo is saying Lewis don't level up Atten.
yeah, I'm explaining that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm explaining that.
Sorry, I was trying to read up past the stuff I
Yeah,
missed.
I know. I guess I know how bad the lag is, since that's just popping into the chat now.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't like doing that sort of metagamey bullshit. Also, I kind of need Atten to not suck when the twin suns attack him. So I am going to level him up. I might stop leveling him up after a point, but I am going to level him up for at least now. Okay. So now that I've explained all that.
Yep, and apologies for that.
Is fine. There you go. Oh yeah, you can do that for the main character in KOTOR 1 as well. You start out as one of the 3 classes that you pick there, and then they upgrade into a Jedi subclass later. Anyway, points: stealth and security. Let's give him a point in treat injury, actually, because in my current game, he's having a lot of trouble with med packs, and I don't want to be in that position again. You do want to keep the Jedi thing in mind, though, because you don't start gaining Force abilities or Force points until you start gaining Jedi levels. So you can make things significantly harder for yourself early on in exchange for Atten just being a better character in the late game. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna give him dueling this time. Alright. That, conveniently enough, means Atten is going to be better at doing this.
And what is that?
Shooting the exploding droids.
Yay.
They're actually floating mines, so... Oh, I should probably equip Creo with an actual weapon. That would be a good thing to do, yes.
What am I supposed to do, punch things?
Wait. Right, mining laser. And I'll put the vibro cutter back on here. Alright, shoot that one. Kreia. Shoot the other one. You do have the blaster, right? Yeah, you got the blaster. There you go. Alright, you may fire when ready.
Where that came from?
Okay. That was easy. Alright, shock. Droid stun. Even if they win a saving roll against stun droid, it actually does do quite a bit of damage to them. And, let's see. Sniper shot. Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna switch, Mitra over to her sword. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do.
Well, oops then. There's gonna be Santa says, this is so uncivilized.
Ratio achieved.
It's kind of funny how everyone always thinks Obi-Wan is kind of the baseline for a Jedi when he was really just kind of like super conservative on a lot of things.
Systems failing, Master.
A little weird.
So the droid self-destructs when it's killed. Fortunately, that's like really telegraphed. You want to make sure you pick up the stuff from this droid, because the HK vocabulator you can salvage from it is one of the items you need to repair HK-47 back on the ship. and you'll get a lot of the other HK items that you need from similar droid models that attack you.
Mike Manhattan asks, how soon before Lewis has the high ground?
There is no high ground.
Ah.
Not in an Obsidian RPG.
My favorite joke about that is, it's an Obi-Wan and an Anakin cosplayer at a convention. So they just go on an escalator. So they're just going up the escalator, and Obi-Wan turns around and goes, Anakin, I have the high ground.
Alright. So here we are on the Harbinger.
Something is wrong.
It's been
I
about
sense
2
no
hours
one
since we
on
started.
board.
You
Yeah.
sense no one on board? Sense any assassin droids creeping up behind us like last time?
Everyone here has been slain.
How long did you plan on
Yet there are
going
few
tonight?
signs of battle. No carbon scoring, no blaster fire. This place has been hit by assassins of a different sort.
Then what are we doing on this ship?
I'm
We
gonna
were better off in the
say-
facility. You two are supposed to be Jedi? You two are the worst Jedi I've ever met.
Yes.
You two are the worst Jedi I've ever met. Atten's right. We need to get off this ship.
Oh, and go where? If the assassin machine was correct, then we cannot reach the hangar. Be silent. I need some time to think.
We can bypass the force field to the hangar by getting to the engine room on this ship, then exiting through the fuel pipe.
Look, I don't mean to cast another shadow on this, but even if you could reach the ship you came in on, it wouldn't matter. You'll need the orbital drift charts to clear the Peragus asteroid field, unless you want to have the shortest flight out of Peragus ever recorded.
Huh. Then how did this ship dock here?
Well, of course they have the asteroid drift charts in
Autopilot?
their Navicomputer. They'd have to.
He's talking about how they need asteroid drift charts in order to make it to dock. So let's get their codes then. Then we can worry about reaching the Ebon Hawk.
Alright, we're in fictional space where asteroids are like barely feet apart from each other instead of actual asteroids where they're like hundreds of miles apart.
Well, the asteroids are all flying around, so they need the
Yeah.
computer to tell the ship where the asteroids are going to drift so they can plot a course around them. Once they have that, it's as easy as docking. I think we can get there. Anybody see any problems with getting to the Navicomputer?
Well, we'd have to get to the bridge.
Well,
I mean,
this is a video game,
well, that's
so
the biggest
probably
problem
there
I
will
can
be,
see.
yes.
That is a sound plan for the moment. Let us go. Our enemies gather while we wait here.
It just gave you a tutorial on influence. And then a bunch of dialogue. Atten's plan was a good one. Let's head to the bridge and get the drift charts.
all right. But this won't end well. Trust me.
Okay, and I gained influence with Atten.
Yay.
Which I actually do want, because if you gain influence with Atten early on, you can make a Jedi of him earlier.
Yay.
Anyway, the bridge is like right here. So, getting the asteroid drift charts is the easy part. So many dead people. Okay, I don't have any spikes, so I'm gonna have to do repair. You have rerouted the system and access what remains of the ship's astrogation capabilities. Download the orbital drift charts for the Peragus asteroid field. There we go. Check Harbinger logs. Ah, emergency broadcast.
We have taken on passengers to Telos.
Sir, we've just received an emergency broadcast.
These
A fighter
broadcasts
under
are
attack by Sith
important
forces.
to completing a
Can we
side
get an
quest
ID on
in
the
your
ship?
log.
Yes, sir.
The
We have
recent
its ID
history
signature.
side quest, I think, which
It's
is
not in our
supposed to,
database,
which is
but
just
its
like find
profile
out what the
suggests
hell
some
happened
low-stock
to
freighter.
you right
Says
before
it's
the
being hit
game.
hard by a Sith warship.
So you do want to do this because I think it gets
Sir?
you experience
I need
points
to
when you
confirm with command
fill all the
before we move to
requirements.
intercept. Report.
The Sith warship
So they
is empty,
found this
sir.
Sith
We attached an
warship,
umbilical and sent 3
but it had
strikers.
nobody on it,
There's
mysteriously.
No sign of a crew or its commander.
There's no one on board.
Where do you think
What
they
about the
went?
escape pods?
They're still in their berths, sir. This place, it's empty. It's like
Can
a
you
ghost
guess,
ship.
Ryan?
Then who was firing at the freighter?
We don't
In the
know,
ventilation
sir.
shafts?
The freighter's empty too.
No.
We did a clean sweep
Aw.
and nothing except a lone T3 unit. badly
They
damaged.
used their stealth
Did you see one
generators
tractor
to
beam
go
from the
invisible and just snuck on board the Republic ship and chilled there for days until it was time for a sneak attack.
No idea why the Admiral thought that freighter worth all the effort, but we'll find out.
The Admiral who wanted these people to go after the Ebon Hawk, by the way,
Everyone
is
in Ebon Hawk is dead,
Carthonasi,
sir.
one of the
Sir,
party
autopsies
members
within
from
the hour.
What about
KOTOR
that
1.
Sith corpse we retrieved from the
Well,
warship?
that's neat.
We haven't had a chance to
He's
fully
also got
examine
one of the
the
most recognizable
unit,
goddamn
but
voices
it's
in this
fractured
game.
in several places.
Why? Who's he voiced by?
The same guy who does Kaiden Alenko in Mass Effect, and he's got a really distinctive voice.
We're still experiencing a problem with the communications array, and now maintenance is telling me there's a cascade failure in the weapons.
Sir,
It's a trap.
an unusual sound from MedLab.
As they say in the chat.
An unusual sound from MedLab, you say.
What the hell was that?
Sir,
Did someone leave Star Wars on again?
Send a security team to MedLab, now!
Oh yeah, 350 experience points. That's probably for getting the
logs.
the astrogation chart, actually. Computer spike and parts. Oh, just in case you didn't have what you needed to operate the computer, there it is in a trash can right next to you.
And away we go.
I guess I can't open the blast doors.
Open the blast doors, open the blast doors.
Whenever you see blast door, it's an unopenable. Oh, hello, Stealthy. Oops, I forgot that would happen. Ah, save roll. Ah, we get to see some of that marvelous melee choreography. These Sith warriors are using regular melee weapons, but they are using the style of the double-bladed lightsaber right now.
Oh, the mall thing.
Yeah. Now let's see. Medpack. There we go. Oh,
Time to take you down to size.
dead. Ha!
Hey,
Now they're all focused on my melee fighter. That's where you want them. Standard-ass tanking tactics. Fighting the melee fighter who has good defense. You don't want melee attackers fighting a blaster wielder. That just puts you at a disadvantage. Before I go this way, I'm actually going to go back the way I came. Because there was another door over this way. I'm not sure if I can open it or not. And I think there's another room over there. This one's a security door. Boop. Security chest.
Pure Pazak.
I like it when he says that, mostly because Pazak is bullshit. Fun bullshit, but bullshit. Pazak is basically blackjack crossed with a trading card game. Oh, hello.
Yeah, so it's blackjack and hookers. Another reference.
Yeah, I know where that
Time
one
to
comes
even
from.
the odds.
Okay, good.
Also, if the enemy is chasing a particular person, you can have that person run in circles to just distract them for a while your AI takes out the rest of them. Mitra just blindsided that one. Man, it's no wonder the Sith keep losing these wars if their soldiers are that stupid. That's something you can do in Baldur's Gate as well, and I've been doing it a lot in the Baldur's Gate live stream.
As Shadow Wops says in the chat, the computer cheats at Pazak.
The computer doesn't exactly cheat at Pazak. I've actually won more games than I've lost, but sometimes it does, like, get suspiciously good draws. It's hard to tell, really.
William Smith Lewis is going light side.
There's just not enough ships and too much territory to cover. We're still
Yeah, I'm going
rebuilding
light
from
side.
the war with Malik, and sometimes I wonder if we'll ever recover.
You see,
Still, we have our orders,
whenever a
and
game
the
has a
Republic's got
morality
the
system, I
highest
always see
priority
the
on
choice
this
to be
mission.
evil as
Looks
more
like the trouble
valuable
on
because it
Androm
makes
will
the
have to
choice to
wait.
be light a choice, you know? And it's especially interesting in the case of Knights of the Old Republic 2 because
We
the moral
expect to
choices you
arrive
make in
within
this
10
game
standard days,
are
provided
pretty
there's no
complicated.
mishaps. I've been ordered to
We
give
probably
the
won't
passenger no
see any
special
of that
treatment, nor
until
make
next
any
session
indication
now,
of her
because the
identity.
first like
I
big
have
moral
some
choice you
reservations
have to
about
do, the
turning
first
the
like choice
Harbinger
between
into a
two
passenger
factions
liner, but the orders were
is on
clear.
Citadel Station on
Whoever this
Telos.
passenger is, she's got diplomatic level priority, whether she knows it or not.
No, these guys are talking about me.
We picked up a distress signal.
Are
and
they?
sending a
You're
message
famous.
to the Republic for permission to investigate. We have also transmitted the damaged vessel's ID signature to
The Sith weren't
Republic.
using clone
According
troopers
to the
back
message,
then.
it's being
In fact, in
pursued
the
by
Old
Sith
Republic
forces.
timeline, the people who look
There's
most
no
like
match for the
stormtroopers
vessel in
are
our
the
databanks,
Republic
but the
soldiers.
profile of the distress signal
You can play as one
suggests
in
it's
the
a stock freighter
MMO.
of
It's
some
actually
kind.
pretty cool.
We'll only know for sure when we arrive, and we'll find out if the signal's genuine.
Is the MMO still up,
or a
or?
trap.
Oh yeah, it's still going. It's free
Oh,
to
really?
play, so there's no reason not to
How-
try it at least. Well, unless
How
your
long has it
computer's
been going?
dead. It's been going for a while, quite a few expansions. I think a new expansion is releasing like in a week or so.
Huh.
We wanted to check with you, sir, before diverting course from Telos. There appears to be some battle that has taken place in the sector, and we've received a distress signal.
You have permission
Karth,
to course, Captain.
how you
If
doing,
there's
buddy?
a Sith presence in the region, I want you
How's
to investigate.
Canderous?
The ID signature on the freighter. Did you get confirmation on it?
Yes, sir. We did not have the vessel listed in our databanks, so we transmitted the code to you. Was there a match?
So lots more
There
dialogue
was,
options,
Captain.
it seems.
If you find any trace of that vessel, even wreckage, I want it.
Yes, sir.
After you've investigated the sector, resume
Did you
course
ever
to
do
Telos
anything
with
about
the
those
passenger.
migraines?
It
Oh,
is
right,
of
I'm
the
sorry,
highest
wrong character.
importance that she reach Telos.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure she arrives intact.
Good hunting, Captain. Admiral Onasi out.
Sometimes I wonder if the right hand of the Republic knows what the left hand is doing. I'm always being kept in the...
Query. You sent for me, Captain.
Ah,
Yes, I need to check on the
HK50, how you
passenger
doing?
again, see if there's anything she needs. Try not to be too obvious about it. Her safety is our top concern.
Statement. I shall use the utmost discretion, Captain.
The fun thing about the Harbinger section is that if you do go to the trouble of exploring the area, and yeah, I got 100 experience points for watching those. If you do go to the trouble of exploring the area and finding all the logs and stuff, you get to piece together a really clever story about what happened to the exile right before the game. But it all ends like you were going in for routine medical checks, but HK50 rigged the Colto tank to drug you.
Huh.
Damn it!
More where that came from.
Hi, buddy. Dead.
Fallen.
Those Sith were pathetic. I mean, I realize they're basically just like acolytes or something, but... Come on.
Let me take care of this.
One of the, like, actually kind of cool things about the Sith in, like, the Old Republic timelines is that they far outstrip Vader, the likes of Vader and Palpatine in terms of just power and ability with a lightsaber and all of that. But the ones who came long before this were even better. Like, I'm talking, like, the ancient Sith, Tulak Horde and all. Sith Lords who ruled big old chunks of the galaxy on their own.
Yeah, the Jedi and Sith we see in the movies are kind of shit.
Well, the Jedi, not so much, but the Sith have been in decline for millennia. And part of that has to do with, like... Before the Rule of Two, there was a philosophy in the Sith hierarchy that wasn't so conducive to gaining power. And then, like, partway through the whole Rule of Two era, one of the Sith went a bit crazy and started destroying ancient Sith knowledge. There's a whole history there. It's quite fascinating. Unfortunately, if you watch any videos on YouTube about it, you get bombarded in your recommendations by videos about how Star Wars is going to shit and all of that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Could always
Yeah.
just log out of your account and then just watch them there.
Yeah.
And then log back in.
I suppose. That's a bit cumbersome, though. I can take Force Heal at last!
Yay.
Yes! Force Heal. Force Heal doesn't just heal you, it also heals everyone in your party. And you want to make good use of this, because... well, your Force Bar will regenerate over time, and using Force Heal allows you to regenerate health in between battles much more quickly, and without wasting any med packs. Harbinger crew quarters. I don't want to go that way yet, I don't think.
Jamie Santos asks, is Invader considered like one of the top 5 Sith Lords? Kind of.
He's important, but the thing is, like, he lost a lot of his power when he was injured. That's an actual thing. So, for a while, he was a shadow of Anakin Skywalker, and just in terms of raw ability. He had to regain a lot of his power. Yeah, he suffered a Metroid moment, a really painful Metroid moment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was powerful. Really goddamn powerful, but he really doesn't have anything on the main villain in this game. In terms of power, I mean.
Yeah, Vader just has raw
word.
power. He doesn't really have abilities, so to speak.
The other thing, though, is that as far as Sith go, Vader wasn't really taught the Sith way quite so thoroughly. And by the Sith way, I mean the religion of the Sith. And their whole philosophy. The religion of the Sith, like, the Old Republic games go into that quite a bit. If you play as a Sith in the MMO, you start on Korriban, and you learn a lot about Sith history while you're... Oh, hello. More stealth Sith. Okay, hi. Let's switch back to Atten, because right now he seems to be the one who needs the most hands-on control. Boom. Oh, Cray is in trouble. I should switch over to her.
I hear you.
Oh, dead. Okay. Alright. It's so weird seeing this mystical old Jedi lady, blind even, with a blaster pistol.
And hitting her mark.
She's not the only blind character in this game, either. There's a whole race of blind people who see through the Force, apparently. And if you go into the EU, there are actual animals that use the Force, too. It's pretty wild. There's a whole list of them in the Jedi Path. Let's see. Wait, which character am I leveling up right now? Okay, Kreia, right. Let's give her treat injuries. Oh, actually, yeah. I don't care about repair. Or security. Should I give her computer use?
What? You could have had the blind woman use computers.
It's more useful than you think. Okay.
It's like asking Daredevil to use a computer. Or that time in Avatar where Toph got angry that he wasn't being asked to put up posters.
I'm gonna give her improved dueling. Make her a bit better at fighting, and of course, Force Heal. Oh, she actually has 2 powers to gain this time around. So I'll give her Force Deflection because she's high enough leveled for that as well. Alright, and now for Atten. Let's give Atten Well... He really needs stealth more than anything. Okay. I've gotten out of so many bad situations because of the combination of Atton's ability to resurrect while he's down if there are other people alive, and his ability to stealth. Escape pods? I didn't realize there were escape pods here. Hang on, I'm gonna quick save and see what this is.
This the escape, but where the pod?
All the escape pods have been locked. They cannot be used. Okay.
Annie, these are so sparkly glowy.
I must have missed that detail when I was exploring here the first time around. It is kind of interesting how the Sith Lords, like, declined in power over the ages. Simply because their knowledge was lost. Or...
Well, they kept being assholes to each other.
Yeah, that was the major reason the Rule of Two happened. Darth Bane got sick and tired of all the infighting. So he's just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Only 2 Sith Lords allowed at any one time. The apprentice overtakes the master and that's it. That's the infighting.
Except that doesn't quite happen, but...
Well, that's basically how power passed from Sith to Sith up until Palpatine and Vader.
Yeah, but a lot of other times the apprentice, while still under the master, would try to take on their own, and it would cause more problems.
Yeah. Although in a lot of those cases, the master ended up winning. So,
yeah.
You know, the master ended up being unworthy. I mean, the apprentice ended up being unworthy. Yeah, I misspoke. Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, one of the rooms around here is Mitra's own. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, we found our bedroom. I just need a second. This was my room. Oh no, the dialogue.
Doing it again?
Yeah, it's not saying the dialogue.
Oops.
Never mind it. I'll save and reload to clear the bug. But right, anyway. Save game, stream file, save. Okay. Load game, stream file, load. That should clear the bug from happening. It hasn't happened this often in a while. Okay, so I have a vibration cell, I have a med pack, and I have a data pad and an armband. Mitra Surik, you are requested to report to the Harbinger Medical Bay for routine examination. The routine is automated. Simply insert this data pad into the medical computer to receive your injections. Yeah, so that's when Mitra got drugged. What's the vibration cell? I forget what that is. I know it's an upgrade for something, but...
Mobismo says, I never liked the rule of two. I found it kind of stupid. Well, you have to remember the Sith are basically just killing each other left and right for power, and Bane just said, fuck it, there's no point in this anymore.
You get to live that firsthand if you play a Sith in the MMO. In fact, one of the cool things that you can do as a Sith in the MMO is play a light side aligned Sith, trying to undermine the current philosophy of the Sith, because you believe that, you know, a broader perspective would help them. You're part of the problem. Mitra Surik's armband. This can be equipped in place of one of the energy shields, but it's not actually an energy shield consumable. It is a Constitution +1 accessory. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to have.
Yep. Now let's see. Pheromone package. Oh, hey. It's I never got this in my last playthrough, but this is A cybernetic implant that increases your persuade and charisma stats by 1 point each. This implant allows the user to subtly secrete synthetic pheromones that generally stimulate a pleasant behavior response in a wide range of species. This is a thing in the Star Wars universe. Prince Xizor, the main villain of Shadows of the Empire, has a power very like this, except it's just straight up male pheromones that make women go wild. Princess Leia has a bit of trouble with that, but luckily she has stalwart Chewbacca by her side to keep her from falling to temptation. This is right after The Empire Strikes Back. It's very awkward. It was a good book. Oh, I accidentally hit the shoulder button. I'm looking for the vibration cell. Where's the vibration cell? Oh, broadening chamber mark. That's an upgrade for ranged weapons. Vibration cell? Where are you? I can't find it. Fuck it, I'll check it out later. Swear jar. There comes a point in these games where the unlimited inventory becomes something of a liability, in that you stop paying attention to a lot of the items you have on you because there are just so many goddamn items. Time to use a security tunneler. There we go. That one was just like a little bit above my security rating. An Arcanian blaster rifle, 50 credits. I mostly stick with blaster pistols, and if I need more firepower, I'll have someone dual wield the blaster pistols. I don't really like blaster rifles all that much, or battle staffs, or any kind of two-handed weapon in these kind of games, really. I mean, they can pack a punch, but, you know, if you want more damage, two weapons is usually the better way to go on average.
Yeah.
I do like being more accurate with just a single-handed weapon, though. Oh dear.
What?
It's the Sith again.
Oh boy.
Thankfully, the game like auto-pauses the moment you notice anyone, so you can just, you know...
Plan.
React, yeah.
What is it? Falling.
One of them down. No. I don't want to use... Oh, I can't cancel that. He's already in the middle of throwing.
Oops.
Well, that worked.
This shall not stop us for long.
It's just a frag grenade. I'll get plenty of those. The action menu off to the side, down bottom, is particularly annoying because the cursor highlight isn't particularly visible. This Republic soldier had 10 credits on him. Thanks, Republic soldier. Your contribution to the war effort will be noted in the history books.
Soldier, soldier. Unsung hero of anime. Hip hooray for Soldier Ray. He only has one line but saves the day. Whether monsters or a mecha or a guy,
50 credits,
doesn't
nice.
matter which, he's gonna die. And the song goes on for a while, but I'll spare you.
And sometimes you trigger the appearance of Sith stealthers by trying to open doors or going for certain items. But you know, I'm not complaining. These aren't enemies, they're free experience points.
Know where that came from?
Yeah, they don't seem to be giving you too much trouble.
They're not. They're pretty easy to kill. You just have to watch out for the damage they're dealing to which party member, you know?
Yeah.
That's a blast door, I can't open it.
But you're supposed to open the blast doors. Open the blast doors.
You cannot open the blast doors in this game, I'm sorry.
Then what's the point of it existing?
I might try to get to the end of the Peragus 2 section in this session. But it depends on how fast I get through Harbinger. Because once you get through Harbinger, there's not that far to go.
This shall not stop us for long.
Let's settle this.
This shall not stop us for long.
Ah, damn it. He's going after me with melee. Fortunately, the party AI is kind of good at using force heal when it's in control of a character that has it. So you don't have to worry too much about health. Of course, it does help if you set them to Jedi support behavior.
Mm-hmm.
That said, if someone really needs a heal, have someone in your party with a high treat injury skill, and they can use med packs on you for significant healing. Just if like one of your party members needs a really big boost all at once.
Okay. Sonic Angel says it's a good thing the universe pauses to tell you invisible Sith dudes are here. That's just that's just a tabletop RPG thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a real-time system, but the tactical pause auto-pauses when you sight an enemy. So it happens when you notice someone's there.
Mm-hmm.
Which happens based on your awareness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, insert datapad. Check treatment request Mitra Sirik. Sedatives administered during routine examination 3.5 days ago. Emergency override enacted. Dosage exceeds safety protocols. During your last medical exam, you were administered a delayed sedative that would kill a normal human being. That must be what rendered you unconscious when the Harbinger was taken out. It looks as if someone forgot to lock out the treatment request once administered. You still have access to one of the culto tanks in the medical bay. So, we have a free heal point, just in case you take a bunch of health, a bunch of damage, and don't want to wait for your regen to happen. Anyway, medical logs.
Something's wrong. Ever since we picked up that Sith firefight in the region, crewmen haven't been reporting for their shifts, and I can't reach people on the comm. The strange thing is, I keep feeling like someone's watching us here in the ship, but I can't see anyone.
She feels like someone's watching us. It might be, you know, the invisible people in the room with
Checking
you.
the survivor from the Sith vessel. I'm not sure whether he's alive or dead, or what's even keeping him together.
It's not like it's even that hard to see while invisible. The air kind of distorts around them.
Several thousand fractures in his skeleton, as if each bone was splintered repeatedly over time.
Yeah, they kind of have that thing going that the Metal Gear Solid stealth generator does.
Yeah.
If so, he must have been in constant pain.
It's like in fiction, you're never allowed to have like true invisibility, or else it'd kind of break everything.
To a point. You still have to move silently.
Yeah.
Medical officer.
There's a lot of stuff you can do messing around with invisibility, actually.
I don't know where
But then they had to explain how as to why Terry McGinnis doesn't do that all the time in Batman Beyond. As a result, because, you know, he's Batman.
I think they were always on board.
So, the people in this medical bay weren't completely helpless. They actually did manage to fight off the Sith that appeared.
Or as many as 100. And with communications cut off, we can't call for help. I think that thing in the tank was a Sith Lord. Alive the whole time, waiting for something to wake him up.
So, there's a thing in a tank that might be a Sith Lord.
Oops.
Yup, it's the crazy, scary guy from the title screen.
How about that?
He just pulls a Resident Evil tyrant and bursts out of his medical tank and slaughters frickin' everyone. Boom. Anyway, if you have a treat injury skill, you can attempt to get chemicals from the medical computer dispenser. Chemicals dispensed. You want chemicals because those are the items you use to craft medical items and other sundry stuff that helps. Anyway, we are done here. Here's the broken Culto tank. There's one of those medical droids. You can reactivate the medical droid for 4 repair parts and have it follow you around, casting healing techniques on you. Which is helpful, by all means, but I don't need it right now because there's nothing particularly powerful in here.
Oh, is it one of... I thought I saw one of the gonk droids.
Well, you do run into those.
Yeah, I love the gonk. I love the gonk droids.
I think everyone does. 50 credits and a security tunneler. Thanks, buddy.
Yay.
Oh, I literally walked into a Sith without it triggering me noticing it. Oops. Yeah, that can happen. They're still solid objects.
So what Adam just bumps into them goes, sorry, sir.
Alright, that wasn't bad.
I hear you.
Oh.
That
snuck up on me. Okay. Ah, security door.
Just say the word.
Ah, nice. Boxes. Boxes full of stuff.
Pure Pazak.
Yay. Always the best boxes.
Let's see. Oh, components, parts, repair kit, blaster rifle, and credits. Nice haul. It's so nice
Pure Pazak.
having someone... Oh, shit! I got Jedi Knight robes! Save!
Are they, like, super good?
They're expensive.
Oh.
Even in my, like, Nar Shaddaa file, the best I have right now is Jedi robes, not Jedi Knight robes.
Can you get Jedi Master robes?
I'm not sure. But I saw the price for these at one of the shops that sells them. Why they're selling Jedi Knight robes, I don't know. But
cosplay conventions?
But yeah, this is definitely better than what I have now. But this is good. This is good. It's also a little bit more like slick looking than the regular Jedi robes that I have in my other file. Like it's got more going on in terms of design. It's a little less cheap looking. Okay, so I lucked out on the RNG that just there. Oh man, I can't wait until I get a lightsaber now. Oh, the Sith are here. It does look a little weird to see a physical sword in a Jedi's hand, but like there was an era of the extended universe where the Jedi were still using metal swords. I actually have one of the novels based in that area.
Everyone's saying you got super lucky.
I did get super lucky. I can't believe.
More where that came from.
I will silence this one.
Time.
Uh-oh, Krea's hurt. Well, no wonder she's got 2 Sith T-posing behind her.
They're approaching for aggression.
I think they're dead. But like, something about the game glitched. Okay.
Oh. It's just on screen now.
Okay.
Okay.
It's an Obsidian game. What do you want?
Just say the word.
I don't know what happened there, but whatever.
Let's see. This droid appears to be deactivated. Oh, hey, a corpse. Security tunneler, repair kit, droid maintenance data pad, 50 credits. Droid maintenance log. I don't know whether this new HK-50 droid is a gift or a curse. After the destruction of the previous protocol droid when it accidentally activated that frag mine, the HK has stepped into its place without a hitch. Accidentally. Yeah, I'm sure that was an accident. The problem is, it doesn't take commands very well, and most of the time I have no idea where it's been. There's been reports it's been sighted in the crew quarters with the captain, in maintenance, and even in med lab, of all places. And when I ask the droid about it, it gives me a smart mouth response about facilitating communication. I don't know who commissioned these HK models, but I don't like them. It is kind of a clever plan in the context of the Star Wars universe to commission assassin protocol droids, because, like, no one pays attention to these bastards. Anyway, yeah, you check the protocol droid, and your character sees that it's been sabotaged. You get some experience points for learning a bit more about what happened. Sith? Any Sith in here? No? Guess not.
I want the experience.
Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, in these kind of games, Baldur's Gate notwithstanding, with its random encounters and all, in these kind of games, experience points are a finite resource. Sometimes, like, if the easy way of, like, running past enemies means forfeiting an experience points, so... Okay, I'm still on Nar Shaddaa. I had a moment of paranoia where I was like, wait, did I accidentally overwrite my file last time? So I had to check. Thankfully, they all have screenshots.
Always have to be super careful.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Would you stop saying that? What's wrong?
Don't you feel it? Something's gonna get real wrong real quick.
Oh, I didn't realize this the last time I watched the scene. It's because he's force sensitive. Okay. Oh, okay. That's good. Okay, that's nice. I mean, it makes it sound like he's just using, like, smuggler intuition or something. But he's force sensitive. Okay. How do you know that?
You don't survive on the rim
Well, how
as
does
long
the
as I
untrained
have
person
without
know this
knowing when
better than
trouble's
the
coming.
supposedly Jedi?
Cowardly intuition.
All right, but don't say I didn't warn you. Trust me, when it comes to staying alive, I'm rarely wrong about these things.
I gained influence. Good.
Yay.
I do like the idea of the influence mechanic, being able to change your party members' alignment based on your alignment and how much they like you at the time. Okay, this is the way that I need to go. I'm gonna quick save real fast.
Alrighty.
I mean, he says things are going to get bad, but I don't know what's gonna happen. It's not really that big of a deal. Not gameplay-wise, anyway. It's a big deal story-wise. Ah, Jesus Christ.
I came to warn you, Jedi.
What happened?
Not what path you walk.
You'll see.
This battle is mine alone. I am not defenseless.
He cannot
Mr.
kill
X
what
here
he
gonna give
cannot
it to us?
see, and power has blinded him long ago. Run. I shall be along shortly.
You're right, he does kind of look like Mr. X. Anyway, yeah, Krea's gonna fight him. Fortunately, we don't have to deal with that. And
Not my problem.
she'll take as long as she needs to. We can freely loot the few rooms over here, but this is basically the end of the Harbinger section, which means we can finish off Peragus Station and get the heck out of here.
Cool.
A vibroblade. Nice. I think that might be a fixed treasure, because I got that last time. Engine maintenance console. Repair. Slice. I'm always running low on computer spikes. You have rerouted the system and accessed what remains of the ship's maintenance routine capabilities. Open maintenance doors to the ion engines. Excellent. Okay. And that's the way out that I'm looking for. But before I do that, there's another room over here that I think has a workbench in it, so I can upgrade my vibroblade. Weapon upgrades in the Knights of the Old Republic games are nice. Because of the way these games work, they're based on Dungeons and Dragons. Basically, in most circumstances, like, you're not going to get that many better swords or that much better armor. A sword is a sword. You know, it generally has about the same damage output. But the upgrade system in the KOTOR games allows you to really widen the range of what your stuff can do. And you can take the upgrades out, like, very freely at any workbench, so you're not wasting or consuming anything, you're just attaching things. I have Biorestorative Underlay Mark 1, which can be attached to my Jedi Knight robes. This gives you some added regeneration. Oh, wait, I went and canceled out of that. You have to
Javier Vasquez asked, guys, if the prophecy of the Chosen was indeed true, doesn't it imply that the Star Wars universe is deterministic? Anakin was destined to kill millions of people? That's more of a case of self-fulfilling prophecy than anything else.
That said, this game goes into that. This game goes into, like, all the frickin' questions you could ask about the nature of the Force. It just, like, it kind of deconstructs the logic of the Force and the universe as it's been presented in Star Wars, and presents a lot of troubling questions to the player. And it works in this case because of the deconstruction. It feeds into the complexity of the choices you make in roleplay. So it's not just you get to be an asshole or you get to be a good guy. It's how are you going to answer these questions? Is the light side worth it? Is the dark side worth it? Maybe you want to stay neutral after all. Anyway.
Does the Force really even amount to anything other than causing people to cause problems?
Yeah. Anyway, since I have a vibroblade here, I can actually install 3 upgrades. Ah, the Nagai Grip. I didn't have this my first time through either. This one gives you an attack modifier +1. What that means isn't a +1 to damage. That means a +1 to accuracy. So you're going to be hitting more. The Agrinim Grip, which I had before, is just a damage bonus, +1, slashing damage. But this is clearly better. And the other 2 upgrades I'm putting on this Vibroblade add bonus damage to droids, which we're going to be fighting a lot of once we're back on the station. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. More than pretty good, actually. I'm going to equip the Vibroblade now. Last time I played this, though, I had a longsword by this point, which is not as good in terms of upgrade capabilities as a vibroblade, but its base damage is a little higher. But it's, you know, just a sword. It doesn't have the powered components, so you can't put in any powered component upgrades. Alright. It does look a little bit more ornate, though, so it fits the Jedi robes a bit better than the Vibro Cutter did. Although, I'm wearing this thing on my head that doesn't fit with either the sword or the robes. Ooh. Okay, let's see. For as limited as the graphics are in the KOTOR games, the environments can be pretty interesting.
When they decide to do something with them, yeah.
I mean, they put a lot of they put a lot of work into it. Let's see. Activate engine maintenance procedure. And that opens the door. There we go. Just that easy. Free experience points is always nice.
Yep.
Oh,
supplements
no.
the stuff you already got. What?
Alright, hang on. It's doing it again.
Oops a doodle.
sense you, my master. Faint, weak.
Your senses betray you, as you betrayed me.
After all that's happened, still you live. You are difficult to kill.
For one as limited as you, perhaps. To have fallen so far and learned nothing, that is your failing.
The failure is yours. No longer do your whispers crawl within my skull. No longer do I suffer beneath teachings that weaken us. And now you run in search of the Jedi. They are all dead, save one. And one broken Jedi cannot stop the darkness that is to come.
Perhaps we shall see.
So this guy's just a husk, right?
He's an extremely powerful Sith.
What's wrong? Are you all right?
Kreia just got her
Damn
hand
it,
cut
hold
off.
on. It's only a little farther. Don't give up on me now. What happened to you?
Kreia just got her hand cut off, and for reasons we don't know at this point, the protagonist felt it happen.
Huh? How do you know that? Look, if she's in pain, then that pain's buying us time we can't afford to waste. Especially if Sleeps with Vibroblades gets tired of playing with her and decides to use us for practice next.
I like Atton's nickname for him, Sleeps with Vibroblades. He does kind of look like it, doesn't he? And based on your reaction to that, you actually do get light side points or dark side points, huh? T3!
It's a utility droid. Looks like it's been hit with an ion charge and dumped here.
Hey, the droid's back.
Can you travel T3? Come on then. We have to hurry. T3 has the ability to make programming spikes on demand and can also upgrade items if asked. So, when T3 is in your party, he basically acts like a partial functionality workbench. You can have him do item upgrades on the spot, which is handy.
That's always good.
That's another mine. Oh, my skill's too low. Is that right? I'm gonna actually equip that right now. So I had a demolitions +1 at some point, and this is what I was talking about earlier when I said you stop paying attention to what's in your inventory. I have like 4 different belts here that are all really good, and this one gives me a plus. What?
I was say too bad Namora is in this game because you could equip all the belts then.
This one gives me +2 to demolitions, repair, security, and treat injury. Of course, you need to have a point in those skills for that bonus to apply at all, but it's a very flexible thing that can boost your skill. I'm also going to go to Atton and actually put on one of these stealth belts because stealth is his thing, and I just haven't put it on because I haven't had a reason to use it yet. But I'm gonna fully equip him. He actually has his own armor that's pretty decent. I actually haven't changed that. Let's put the Mandalorian melee shield on him. I'm gonna save that for Bowder. Yeah, take the insulated gloves. Take the neural band, sure, why not? Reflex package, go for it. T3 can level up now. Oh, droid self-sustaining unit, regeneration 3? That's nice. I got really lucky with my RNG draws here. Droids don't have natural health regeneration like the organic characters do, and they also aren't affected by force heals. So getting an accessory onto your droid with good regeneration is almost a must. Right, level up. Remaining points. Oh, well, this is an easy decision to make. He's got 15 dexterity. I just put 1 in dexterity. He's got a better bonus. You get +1 to your stat modifiers every 2 points in the stat. So it's the even numbers that you want to shoot for. Computer use. Repair. Security. And, yeah, I'll give him a point in awareness. Why not? Oh, he's leveling up multiple times. I love it when they do that. Three level ups. T3 doesn't have that many feats that he can get, so he also doesn't gain feats every level, or even every other level like every other character. So when you do get a chance to gain feats, pay attention. And make it count.
Oh, we're almost about to hit 3 hours tonight.
Yep. Let's see. That's dual strike. I'm going to give him weapon focus blaster pistol. No, I'm going to give him improved gearhead. Because I'm not going to... I don't need him for fighting quite so much, but I do need him as a tech. In my game... T3 is full light side because I'm full light side.
Super good boy droid.
Yep. Anyway, that little boost should have been enough. Skill too low? Really? Wow. I must be missing an accessory I had in the original game. Okay, let's just disable the goddamn thing. Yep, that did it. Repair kit, a bunch of components, and the Hangar 25 control conduit, which is a key item that I need to get out of here. It seems like HK was just throwing a bunch of stuff into this particular fuel line whenever he wanted to get rid of it. Oh, mining droid. Okay, yeah, I'll fight that. We do have a bit of a way to go until we're out of here, but wait, what? We do have a bit of a way to go until we're out of here, but it would also be awkward to start the next session with the escape. So, repair droids. Go shoot that thing down, please.
So we're gonna go to the until we get out of this escape. Or?
Yeah, I wanna go until we get out. But is that a problem for you? Are we going too late? What time is it? 9?
Depends.
10. Okay.
Yeah, depends on how long it's gonna take.
It shouldn't take that much longer at this point.
Okay, fair enough then.
So you know all that badass stuff that R2-D2 was pulling off? Shock arm, baby.
Very nice.
Ah, damn it. No, I don't want to... I hate it when this happens in particular, because, like, the menu gets in the way of targeting the enemy behind it. Maintenance droid? Yes, okay. Alright, Mitra, stop. Don't go any further. Disable the mine first. There we go. Okay, that could have gone badly. Oh, hey, she leveled up. I don't even need to
Yay.
force heal.
Always convenient.
Let's put points into that and persuade, because persuade is very much necessary. Okay, what feat do I want this time around? Empathy. I'm gonna take empathy. Because it's gonna get to a point where my persuasion is gonna be very necessary. Oh, force deflection, definitely. Boom.
Headshot?
Well, it was with a sword, but I suppose. Also, what part of that is the head? It doesn't appear to have one. Alright. Get some droid parts from the droids. Even if there's stuff that you can't use, it's worth picking it up, because you can take all of those items and break them down into components, or chemicals, depending on what it is, and then turn those items into other items that you want to make. It's a much more compelling system than the Omnigel system that Mass Effect uses. Basically, when I got my first lightsaber, I looked through the mounds of useless crap that I had in my inventory and just made all the badass upgrades with T3 that I could. And immediately my lightsaber in my other save file was, you know, it turned me into a human lawnmower, basically. Okay, I should be able to recover this mine since I just boosted my demolition skill. There we go. Alright. Ah, it won the save roll.
More where that came from.
Force deflection. I love it. You can't deflect the bullets back just yet. That comes with the second tier of power. So, but you can at least block bullets.
Time to take you down to size.
You're saying I can dodge bullets?
Basically, you're slapping them away with your hand, Darth Vader style.
No, Neo.
You feel
I'm saying you won't have to.
It's been years since I've watched The Matrix.
Yeah, the first one is still really good.
Shut down emergency field to exit ramp. There we go. Once you get Bowdur on your side, you don't have to, like, hunt around for consoles to turn force fields off. He has a robot arm that shorts out force fields, so he can just punch them.
Okay, then.
Let's go with a grenade. Nice. Dead. Dead. Oh, there were droids this way. Sorry, Atten, I didn't mean to ignore you. Let me just pop a real quick force heal at it. There we go. The game gets so much more fun when you have a party. It's always funny when Atten kills the droid, but you wind up attacking at the same moment, and your sword just whiffs through the explosion. Oops. Anyway, what is over here? Those are the force fields that lead back to that area over there. Oh, we've come full circle. This is about where we started the session.
How about that?
This is the console that T3 was at when he got shot by HK-50.
So in terms of velocity, we've gone 0.
Oh yeah, these I got all these when I was searching around before. Ah, that one worked. Okay, I can focus on this guy.
More where that came from. Time to take you down.
Atten leveled up. Excellent.
Since this is a game where you get full health at level up, I wonder if it's like in universe where they're like, oh yeah, I took down that droid and all of a sudden they just feel a lot better. It's like, what?
That's funny to think about, isn't it? Ah, droid upgrade class 2. One of the things that about the droids is that they have to reach a certain upgrade class before they can use certain pieces of equipment. So as they level up, they get better at that. There are items that you can equip that increase their upgrade class, but by the time I got one that upgraded me to 2, I was already at 2, so it's like, okay, thanks. Alright, and now Atten's leveling up. He gets sneak attack 4. Basically, when you attack out of stealth, the first attack that you get is given a bonus. And I think it also applies to attacks that you fire off at the enemy when they're unaware of you, but I'm not sure entirely. Let's increase security, increase stealth, and awareness. Alright. Quick save.
Again.
It's actually a really long time into the game before the game lets you explore planets at your own leisure.
Yeah, I've noticed this game is kind of stuck on its own track for a good long time.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dragon Age Origins in that respect. There are several, like, contained sections you have to get through. It's doing the dialogue glitch again. I was supposed to hear droid beeping, but I didn't. What? The console? Huh? What is that piece of junk saying? He said he can open the door to the hangar. He just needs to access the hangar terminal up on the platform. How can you even understand that noise? I served with a lot of utility droids in the, well, many years ago. Okay, right. I'm actually gonna load my quick save because I just did that. This glitch keeps happening today. It's like I go through my entire game without it happening.
It might be an OBS thing.
Maybe. It's probably eating up some kind of memory that the game uses for this kind of stuff. What? The console?
Huh? What is that piece of junk saying?
He said he can open the door to the hangar. He just needs to access the hangar terminal up on the platform.
How can you even understand that noise?
I served with a lot of utility droids in the, well, many years ago.
Alright, well, if he can slice the door open from the terminal above, don't let me stop him.
Okay. Okay, replace hangar control power conduit to open door. Boom. And I already did all the other stuff.
Shadow up. We know what happens when he's not using OBS as far as the dialogue thing goes. We're just curious as to why it seems to be happening more.
I mean, computers are weird. Troubleshooting can be a real pain in the butt, too. I don't have the dialogue problem at all while I'm playing on my own time. And I've been marathoning the game, but it's happened like 3 separate times. Just to avoid it happening again, what I'm actually going to do is load the file that I just saved. Fortunately, my computer is quite speedy, so it doesn't pose that much of an inconvenience.
Let's settle this.
Big
More where
damage
that
with that
came
attack.
from. More where that came from.
Ha! Little do you know, I have fireproof gloves!
And that makes you entirely immune to fire?
You might as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's 30% immunity, so...
Time to take
Lucky
you down
for
the
the,
side.
unfortunately for you, I wear my disintegration proof vest.
Everyone.
Okay, that stunned him. That's good.
Down.
That's Creo TTS, so when are you gonna give Kriya a hand?
Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my ranged weapon for a bit here.
More where that came from.
Okay, everyone needs a bit of healing right now, so...
Looks like it.
Med packs.
Shut us down.
I hear you.
T3. Go be a badass.
I'm just support a droid. You want me to go against those things?
Ugh. The droid's off on that side. Okay, H and K is free.
Hey.
H and K? T3. T3.
Yeah.
It's T3.
Yes.
Anyway. Droid boy needs some health. You don't use med packs for droids, you use repair kits, so... And since your droid has high repair, just as a matter of consequence, his repair kits do quite a bit of healing. Boom! Anyway. They've got shields. I need to go melee with these fuckers. Alright, T3. Back off, back off. Bust out the shock arm. There we go. Oh boy. I hate that the action menu stays on repair kit when you switch back to a human character, though. It's a little annoying. Oh, damn.
There's a lot of guys in this hall.
Well, they ambush you from one side. You gotta watch out for situations like this. I probably would have been ready for it, but I forgot it happened. Alright, everyone back into this room, please. Of course, the moment I switch back, if I don't switch to stationary, she's definitely going to run back into the fight. Ugh, and she still does it.
Oops.
Okay, if you want to stand in the doorway, if you're going to insist on standing in the doorway, at least switch to your blaster, okay? Okay. Not all of the enemies will pursue you when you run back like this, though. So sometimes you can just reposition yourself and get an advantageous position on 1 or 2 enemies and take them out quickly and just divide and conquer that way. Let's go med pack. Alright, melee, go.
$4.99 donation from Big 5. Just wanted to hear you guys say my name in 2 hours when I catch up. Also, because it's relevant in the first place, I'm at Flurry and Rapid Shot are the best choice.
Rapid Shot is indeed very useful.
More where that came from.
Thank you for the donation, by the way.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, that's one droid down. That one got shot dead over there, so... I think we're down to the last one. Oh, excellent.
Let's settle this.
That was pretty badass. I just walked up to this killer robot with a sword, deflected blaster bolts at point-blank range with the Force, and and killed the fucker. I probably should have used an energy shield there instead of all those med packs, but, well, you know. I can't help but be a little bit stingy with my energy shields because they come in clutch really hard at points.
And then you get to the end of the game and you have 99 of them.
I wish. You don't get that many energy shields, but each one has like 5 uses, and there are better versions too. Okay. Mitra, go do the recovering mines thing. You just gotta make it down a few mine-covered ramps to the ship, and loot the containers on the dock before we get on the ship. Well, at this point in the game, you don't really want to use Flurry, thankfully, unfortunately, because it's a little too inaccurate. I'm talking to someone in the chat. Flurry and Rapid Shot are good later when you have feats that offset some of the disadvantages.
MBF78 says, why not use T3 to recover the mines?
Why am I not using T3 to recover the mines? Because I'm using Mitra to recover the mines. She's better at it right now. Good, I stunned one of them.
Convenient.
Boom. Dead.
Good.
Yeah, when you're a Jedi Guardian, specifically, you start out with, demolitions is one of your innate talents. So, I do keep my main character pretty good with, mines. I don't want that to be something T3 specializes in specifically, because I don't keep T3 with me all that often. He's good at tech stuff, but droids have disadvantages. So sometimes you just want to have a fully functioning party of organics, preferably with force powers. You know? But T3 is always going to be one of the top computer users. Alright. Reroute the main console system for 1 repair part. Access remote camera controls. Decontamination chamber. Attempt to shut down the decontamination system with 4 spikes. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that because I only have 1 breath mask. So, yeah, the poisonous gas would be a bit of an issue. Yeah, bit of an issue. Alright, got some good experience points from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe I got the Jedi Knight armor in the first fucking area. I'm still...
Just say the word.
My mind is still boggled.
Is that stuff you could use, like, at endgame, or...?
Pretty far in, yeah. Jedi characters have something called Jedi Defense. It's a feat that gives them bonuses when they're wearing Jedi robes and clothes. Mm-hmm. Basically makes up for them not using armor. So, when you have better clothing and underlays and stuff on top of that, is good. The Jedi robes, though, going into the inventory for a second here, have force regeneration. And I've also put in an underlay that increases my health regeneration too. But a defense bonus 2 plus force regeneration, that's good for this point in the game.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Okay, got some robots, some droids floating around. I'm gonna sweep the dock for loot before I leave, because once you step onto the ship, you're
not coming back.
Well, good thing I accidentally talked to Atten there, because I just confirmed that the dialogue glitch is happening again.
Oops.
So let's load.
As Gray OTD says, they have a problem with flooding the enrichment center with deadly neurotoxins.
Why are we stopping?
Ugh. It does that thing Dragon Age Origins did, where you're trying to target something, but you accidentally target one of your party members, and it's really awkward. Because you start a conversation in the middle of a really tense situation that you didn't mean to do it, and half the time, their only response is to tell you that it's not really the time for it, Commander. More droid upgrades. I think there's something over here. Pretty sure that, yeah, there's a container. 115 credits. That's actually pretty good.
Sounds like a lot.
How much do I have, actually?
1 million credits.
1,933 credits. That's not bad, actually, for this point in the game.
It's nowhere near 1 million, though.
No. Okay. This is the loading ramp to the Ebon Hawk. Once aboard, you'll be leaving the mining facility for good.
Wait, so we just leave the old lady around behind?
Ah, she'll catch up, don't worry.
Okay.
It's not a Shadow Final Fantasy VI situation. Did you just walk in front of the turret? You stupid.
Yeah, they take this. No, you need to get every single one.
This turret is loud, I'm sorry.
Is there? I assume is there a game growing up that you didn't get to play that you would like to try now?
This is an odd time for that question, and not really.
Well, it's a turret section. There's not much to talk about, so.
Not anymore. It's not.
Okay, then.
Well, I couldn't hear you over the sound of the turret. For some reason, it's louder than anything else in this game. Possibly because it's a turret.
There you go.
2 of them got through to the ship. This didn't happen last time I played. When I played it, I got everyone. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, is that officially the escape then, or?
Yep.
Cool.
Kreia. Oh no. She didn't say anything. The bug happened again.
Oh. Yeah, not much we can do.
I guess you guys aren't gonna know what she says because it just cuts past her dialogue.
Well, what'd she say?
I don't know.
How did you get here?
Well, she followed the Sith in, I suppose. Oh no. All the dialogue is buggered.
Ouch.
Keep as much distance between them and us as you can. Now either they hit us or destroy us, or they hit an asteroid and make the whole field go nova.
Neither sounds good.
Now, here's the thing. If they hit the asteroid, it'll set off a chain reaction that destroys the fuel planet. A similar explosion to that is the reason there's a big asshole in the planet in the first place. So, nobody wants that planet to explode. It will basically destroy the economic viability of this side of the galaxy.
Oh, I thought it was the Eclipse Cannon that did that. Curse you, Eggman.
So yeah, they basically just had a conversation about intentionally blowing up an asteroid. But it doesn't matter, because the frickin' Sith go and hit the asteroids on their own anyway. Stupid frickin' assholes. But yeah, you get dark side points if you do it on purpose.
You idiots, you blew it up.
Because you are the last of the Jedi.
Oh, the
Once you
dialogue
are
is
dead,
working.
then they have won.
Oh, how about that? Right in time to say, well, that was the escape, so.
And I was exiled from the Jedi Order.
Exile or not, the Sith believe you to be a Jedi Knight, and that is all that matters.
Well, I wonder why they could possibly be thinking that. Okay. The last of the Jedi. That can't be true.
The Jedi Civil War destroyed the Jedi. By the war's end, barely 100 Jedi remained. Many fell in battle, and many more were seduced by Revan's teachings.
What about the Jedi on Dantooine and Coruscant?
The Jedi Academy on Dantooine is nothing more than a crater that echoes with the ghosts of dead Jedi. And the Jedi Temple on Coruscant lies empty. The waters in the Room of 1,000 Fountains have fallen still in reverence to the fallen Jedi and those now lost. Many Jedi blamed the teachings of the Jedi Masters for Revan's fall and the civil war that followed.
If any survivors still live, we need to warn them.
Perhaps, but they are Jedi
Spartan
no
Mondo,
longer.
it doesn't really matter
If
how
the
long it
Sith
takes for
have
it to
not already
process as long
slain
as
them,
it does.
then they will not help you, nor can you help them.
As far as the stream goes, it's not like this is going up at a specific time.
The fully processing thing only really matters for the sake of the side chat and advertising.
Yeah.
You can't, like, make custom ad breaks until the video finishes processing. Before, you said the Harbinger was on its way to Telos?
Yes, to aid in the recovery effort there. Many roads lead to Telos, including ours.
Not like we have much of a choice, the Peragus astrogation charts being what they are.
It is where we must go, and where the Harbinger was bound before our unfortunate encounter on Peragus.
How did you know I was on board the Harbinger?
You were difficult to find, but coincidence was on our side. When I learned that you were on the vessel, I knew the Sith would not be far behind. When we intercepted the Harbinger, it was crippled, drifting in space. It was a simple matter to board the vessel and rescue you. Unknown to me, however, the Sith were already on board. Just as we made the jump to hyperspace, they fired upon us, nearly destroying the Ebon Hawk.
That's an unusual set of coincidences.
True. But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare.
How did we get to Peragus?
I do not know how the Ebon Hawk was able to make it to Be silent. We're having a conversation here.
The subtitles don't even translate what T3 is saying. They're just beeps.
Oops.
And that's like throughout the entire game. And there are several sections where you play as T3, and it continues to do that. He says he repaired the ship and got us to Peragus.
Repaired this ship.
Boo-boo
My
bop,
eye.
boo-boo bop.
Next thing you know, it's going to claim credit for saving our skins. If that little noisemaker says it repaired the ship once, then it can prove it by doing it again. Go on. Get.
T3 is so alone in this crew. It's like, in this group here, the only person with the option to like T3 is you, because Atten doesn't like droids, and well, neither does Kreia. And there's actually a scene that happens when you come back to the ship at some point where Kreia just casually blasts him with force lightning because she doesn't like him. It's kind of mean. So how come I don't remember you rescuing me?
Whatever occurred on board the Harbinger had rendered you unconscious. Though your thoughts were faint, I was still able to find you, sealed in one of the cargo holds.
We got away from the Sith. Now, how do we stop them?
That is not an easy question to answer. This threat is greater than you know, and I do not believe it is a battle that can be fought.
If we don't... So, what do you think we should do?
Look, enough with the we already.
We cannot hope to triumph against them alone. To stop them, you will need weapons, allies, and a teacher. In the end, I fear it may not be enough.
Let's see. But we have no other choice.
You fought in the Mandalorian Wars, and it cost you everything. Are you willing to sacrifice as much again?
Let's see. This is self-defense, not war.
You are not listening to me. This is not like any field of battle you have ever fought in. Think carefully on your choice. If you choose to fight, if you choose war, it is a path few turn from once the first steps are taken. It carries with it a terrible price, and in the end you may find you have nothing left to sacrifice.
If I do not try, then we have lost anyway.
Like so many Jedi, you hear, but you do not listen. You have much to learn, but we have spoken long enough, and my wound pains me. If you have other questions, find me in the crew quarters. There we will speak more.
Hey, don't stop your long, boring rants on my account. I was just getting sleepy-eyed.
Also in private, we will be mercifully free from the opinions of imbeciles and fools.
Look, not like I care or anything, but you might want to go check on our passenger, especially with that hand of hers.
She seemed well enough for someone who had just lost her hand.
I think she was barely
Well, the
keeping
nice
it
part
together.
about lightsabers is that when they cut something off, it kind of also instantly cauterizes the wound.
Yep. She didn't seem in pain to me.
Are you blind? If I were her, I'd be screaming like a stuck Minoc. Well, I mean a very strong, manly Minoc. I think she's just too proud to show any weakness. Especially in front of you.
You're right. She may be in pain. I'll go see if I can help. Journal entry added. Experience points received 1,500. Light side points gained. Okay, so this is where I'm going to call it for today after I level Mitra up. Hey, she gained attribute points. Good, good. Now let's see. Persuade. Demolitions. Demolitions. Awareness. Okay. And then for my feat this level, let's see. I'll take Dominate Mind, which adds to the Force Persuasion dialogue options that you can take. Alright. And there we go. Thank you all for joining us on this rather long stream. It's been quite a ride, but we're finally through the first area of Knights of the Old Republic 2, and that means next session, whenever that is, we're going to land on Citadel Station and deal with this game's Junktown scenario, which should be fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all next time.
Later, all.